Welcome to the Occult Rejects. This episode, we have a packed house and even an overflow. I accidentally had 2 extra people come onto the show, so this should be interesting. We got 12, and I'll have to toggle 2 in and out. But yeah, it's Occult Rejects Live, and we got a fuck ton of people in different shows here, and I'm just going to have them all go through their names and plug their shows instead of reading it off. But first, we'll start off with the Occult Reject mad scientist herself, Lisa. What is going on?
Hey, how's it going? Thank you for having me, and thank you to the fellow rejects for also having me. I'm really excited to engage in this discussion, and the only thing I'd like to plug is occultresearchinstitute.org. Some of the rejects have contributed to the website and literary form content, and so if you'd like to consume your content literarily, check us out at occultresearchinstitute.org.
Awesome. Thank you very much, and I appreciate you joining us. And then we got Hank. What is going on, Hank? How are you?
What's going on, brother? Appreciate you having me on.
Yes. Yeah, you want to let everybody know what's up and where they can find your stuff?
That'd probably help. Yeah, I'm at the 643 Double Play, but me and Kyle have a joint venture. You can find us on Rumble at Sunday Night Double Play.
Awesome. And thank you very much for making it. And now we got Kyle, a.k.a. Chef. What is going on, my man? Please.
What's going on, guys? Yeah. Happy Friday. Currently we are kind of focusing on the Sunday Night Double Play, so you can find us over at Rumble, Spotify, Apple, all the podcatchers, all the fun jazz, and thanks for having us.
Oh yeah, and what is your schedule? You normally do Sunday nights and Friday nights live, right? Or something like that?
Yeah, that's kind of a long story. So I had a Sunday Night Secret Society kind of going through some changes right now. My old co-host is unfortunately living on the streets right now, and Hank's co-host actually passed away, and so him and I linked up in the midst of all the fuckery, if you will, and so yeah, here we are.
All right. Well, thank you for making it. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
and yeah, of course. And next over, we got Julia Cosmic Peach. What is going on?
What's up? Thanks for having me, Nick. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. This is going to be a good one. Cosmic Peach, wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks for having me, as usual.
Awesome. No, thank you for joining us. I always appreciate your input and what you bring to the show, for sure. And you know what? Let's do Ethan Indigo. Sir, what is going on?
Peace on earth, everybody. Honored to be here and be involved. This is going to be a really epic story with some localism and some nationalism and maybe some worldly stuff, I can tell from what I heard. Ethan Indigo Smith, writer on Esoteric and Exoteric, and I'm on all the usual suspects of the social media, and honored to be here with everybody.
Well, thank you very much, Ethan. I appreciate you joining us. And we got the man himself, the Headless Giant. What is going on, sir?
Thank you, Nick. You can find me on Twitter and YouTube. Just look up the Headless Giant. And also, if you have any occult/paranormal/weird dream stories, you should email them to me. I read them on Thursday nights. My email address is headlessgiantpodcast@gmail.com. And tune in, check it out. It's a good time. It's only about 30 minutes, but I've also got a show with Ethan on Sundays called The Trialogues, also with Roberto. So check that out. Thanks.
I highly suggest to check that show out if people haven't yet. It's a really good show. And we got Brooke from Dark Florida. What is going on, Brooke?
Hello, fellow rejects. Happy to be here tonight. I'm really looking forward to the discussion and seeing where it takes us. You can find me on Instagram at Dark Florida Podcast and wherever you listen to podcasts.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Brooke. And we got my boy Tyrone. What is going on, my man? Please let everybody know what the hell is up.
Yeah, what's going on, man? What's up, everybody? Hey, I just want to say thank you for having me here. Rebirthoftheword.com. That's everything that you can find about me. You can get my book, Journey Through the Origins of History, on Amazon. Went best-selling. So, yeah, that's it. Appreciate it, man. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you. And we got Phil. What is going on, bro?
Not too much. How's everybody doing tonight?
Wonderful.
Excellent. Yeah, just a reader, researcher. Been lucky to be on your show, a few times, and love being able to talk conspiracies, history, deep history, and I'm on Twitter with Vic Foster. I don't call it X, but just happy to be here and whatever the subject is.
Oh, yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate it. And if there's other content creators out there that don't know who this guy is, check out the work he's done on my show and even on JJ's show. He's really good at certain things that he covers. This guy reads a book that he enjoys, so he'll remember all of it, pretty much. So thank you very much, Phil. You have brought some amazing stuff to the show as well, so I appreciate you. And I think we're done. And I think we're finally on to the man of the next, whatever, hour and a half, whatever, 2 hours, whatever. We got Matthew Lane. What is going on, sir? How are you?
Nick, thank you so much for having me. Kind of a dream come true, man. I've been following a lot of you guys for quite a long time. So it's an honor to be sitting here talking to all of you today. I kind of have no idea how unreal this is for me. So hopefully I can knock this out of the park and get through it without bouncing around too much, because I promise you this information I'm about to lay out is dense. There's a lot. And it goes all over the place. But yeah, dude, let's get into it.
I think you missed me, Nick.
Oh, wait.
Appreciate that.
Oh, Jules, fuck. I'm so sorry. You know what it was for moving everybody around. Fuck my life, dude.
How can
Jules,
you skip
Graypill
Matthew
podcast?
McConaughey?
It's fine. It's fine. I'm here a lot. Elohim etymologist, sound scientist. I got a lot of shows that I do. You can find me on Twitter, Graypill Pod. Go over to Patreon. We'll be doing some stuff over there a couple times tomorrow. So yeah, it's always a good time over there. Hang out with the rest of the Grapists. Yeah, thank you. I know it's a packed house, Nick. So thank you again for having me, and very interested to see where this conversation's going.
Like I've said, it happened before where Headless actually had to type in the fucking chat one time, like, "Yo, you forgot about so." Like,
He's even forgotten about me too, Jules.
Yeah,
so don't worry about that.
Personal, yeah. So yeah, Matthew. What's this topic? Like, how did we come across this? What's up?
Okay, so I've been, slowly looking at the world around me after listening to all the podcasts, hearing all the different stories, the old world Tartaria, just everything that's been popping up. If you listen to conspiracies, like even once every month, you're coming across this stuff. So I've just been heavily noticing a lot lately. I've been having a lot of random things kind of fall into my lap. And I'm the type of person I'm the only person in the room that I know who's looking at things. Let's flip that upside down and take another look at it before we just come to a conclusion, people. So I was just fiddling around on Facebook. I came across a random post from my local Kent, Ohio Facebook page. There's a young gentleman who was looking for a memorial art in Towner's Woods of my hometown of Kent, Ohio. This art was supposedly dedicated to the four dead, the four who were slain on that day by our National Guard. And I'd been in those woods quite a few times. I've never seen anything back there. I didn't know what the hell this kid was talking about. And a few days later, he finds it. He posts the pictures of it. And when I looked at it, my mouth hit the floor. I was looking at 4 stone pillars and a portal. A big metal disc with a tear ripped out of it that almost fit the shape of these stone pillars. Now, instantly I said, okay, 4 stone pillars, that's phallic. We got a portal that is, you're telling me, represents the death of 4 students. And I just felt like there was some kind of energetic ritual going on just with that art in those woods, because I know those woods also have Indian burial mounds all over the place. There's at least 3. One of them had an ancient Indian princess buried in it. So this area is highly energetic to begin with. So I see these pictures, and instantly I was just like, I got to look back into the whole May 4th shooting again. I can't just look at this art. I'm going to have to learn everything now. And the first thing I started looking at, though, was I came across the artist who actually put the art in the woods. His name is Christopher Cosma, or Chris Cosma. He was a student at Kent State after the shootings in '74. He was an art student, and Kent State wanted to put up a memorial. They had commissioned some actually really big artists back in the 70s. I can't remember the name of the guy. He wanted something really gaudy. It almost looked like an ancient god making a sacrifice. And they're like, no, we can't put that up. Sorry. So this young student said I could do it, and I can do it for way cheaper. So they allowed him to do it. And back in the 70s, Towner's Woods wasn't woods quite yet. It used to be a farmland that was given back to the city. So they reforested it. So when the artist decided to build this memorial, he also put it up with the intent that trees and shrubs, everything's going to grow around it. So eventually it's going to look like it's been there for a very long time. And I'm telling you, these pillars almost look like witches' towers. They're very peculiar. I started looking into the artist more, and I'm the type of person, if you notice my t-shirt, Drew Missing, we look at people's names and their meanings when we're watching movies and TV shows and looking into stories. Chris Cosma's last name means to invoke change, and I thought that was pretty interesting. So fast forward, I'm looking into his art. I Google his name and I start getting all this art from him. This guy has these, I won't say mural, him and his wife put together these beautiful decked out pieces of wall art. It's like the entire wall is the art. They cost millions of dollars, and they're created from stone, metal, glass, and crystal. They have art in 30 Rock, Chrysler, Empire, 1515 Broadway, which is where this Christopher Cosma lives. Okay. They have art all over the city, and it's all worth millions and millions of dollars. And I don't know if Nick's still in the chat. If you can show anybody some of these pictures, if you can search them up. That,
yeah, is there any way you can send them to me?
I don't have them quite on my laptop. Everything's on my phone.
Oh.
I can send them to you on Instagram real quick, but
I think also, is there some banging going on in your house or something? Because
there is fucking fireworks going on.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that shit's loud.
Fireworks.
Yeah, I can feel them. I live around nothing but hillbillies.
They taking a wall down? They doing like taking sheetrock off or something?
No, I'm hoping they're going to be done soon.
Let me see if
I know the 4th of July ended like 2 weeks ago. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Let's see. So there's parts. Their art in 30 Rock is called A Tribute to Light. And if any of you have been around long enough, we know that light is a reference to Lucifer. And within that art itself, I found the numbers 9 and 11 hidden within the art. Like the number 9 is clear as day, and there's 2 lines that run right across it. God, man. I wish I could bring it up real quick. Let me see. Can I have it on my webpage right now.
Oh yeah, then just share your webpage.
Can I share it?
Yeah.
All right. Boy, give me a second.
Yeah, click share on the bottom, and then share screen. Probably a share screen. I'll ask you like a tab or a window.
I don't see it on my screen.
What's your? Or you throw your website into the private chat. I'll pull it up on my end.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So anyway, I also found out that he had a cross made out of the Twin Towers, literal pieces of scrap metal from the Twin Towers. He put together and then put it in St. Petersburg Church. I'm trying to find it here. So, you know what? Bring it up. One second, guys. I'm sorry.
You see where the private chat is on the side?
Yeah, I see that. I'm just trying to get it to come up real quick. I'm trying to search for it.
Just copy and paste it and throw it in there.
So recently I reached out to the artist, and he emailed me back and said, I'd prefer to have a phone conversation with you. He gave me his phone number, and I called him. He talked my ear off for 2 hours.
Was he like weird?
He was not really weird. He was definitely excited to tell me everything about the art. And some of the stuff he told me though, like he instantly told me, now I want to let you know that the stone pillars, they have nothing to do with phallic symbolism. Offer it. I'm like, well, that makes me think it was all about.
Are you sure? It's always dicks. That's all. But that's all it ever is dicks, right? I mean, the guy must be lying. Oh, it's always just fucking cocks. That's all it is. Fucking ignorant.
Every single time, right?
Yeah.
I am not, dude. I can't get it to come up now.
Well,
like, to be honest, with all the guys on this panel right now, does any of your dicks actually look like an obelisk? Does it have a point at the end like that? Does it look like that? Because mine doesn't.
All right.
That sounds like it would be painful.
Yeah. I don't know how, like, having birth would actually, work well if it looked like that. But
the original Washington Monument was supposed to be a giant column, so it was supposed to be one huge column, but they went with the obelisk instead. It had a whole other garden of columns around it, so it's kind of interesting that they went with that one instead. It's also interesting that I guess they had a different design for this one, and then they switched to this other one. So it seems like maybe the important works of art usually get scrapped the first time, and then they switch over to something else.
But isn't that why they call it the blade? Right? The symbolism for manhood. They call it the blade and the chalice for the womb. So everybody just thinks their dick is like a pointed object. Unless they're uncircumcised, then it's more like, obviously rounded.
True.
Somebody get some uncircumcised dick art in
now, the funny
ether.
thing is about this too, I'll jump to this real quick. While this was happening in Kent, right down the road, literally down a road called 59 in Cuyahoga Falls, there's this. It was one of the first real big TV evangelist churches. I can't remember. Rex Humberg, I think, was his name, and he built this church in Cuyahoga Falls, and he envisioned building this huge tower called the Church of Tomorrow. It's supposed to kind of look like the Seattle Space Needle and have like a big cathedral on the top of this huge tower. Well, he never finished building it, and now it just looks like a ginormous, extra large smokestack for no reason. And it's sat there forever, and it's the biggest eyesore. And it's there for no reason. I don't even think they use it for much. But it was just weird. After seeing this portal and knowing about that tower, I kind of came to the conclusion that they use events like this to power bigger events. When I did a podcast with Troubles about this topic recently, he kind of helped me figure it out. It's almost like baseball season. You got local events that are happening, and that's your preseason. You got bigger events happening, like maybe in big cities. For me, like Cleveland, there's big news happening in Cleveland, but like the rest of the country is not paying attention to Cleveland, right? That's your season games. But then you got your playoffs, and that's when there's bigger events like Kent State. Everyone's paying attention to it, right? But then you have your Super Bowl, your 9/11s, your Oklahoma City bombings. And I honestly think that the portal in the woods that I found, just imagine how many people has walked through that portal since the 70s who believed 4 people on Kent State's campus were murdered. That's some kind of energetic exchange, in my opinion. And they're using those energies against us.
What's the portal again?
It's just a big metal disc. What the artist told me is he went to a scrapyard and they had like a oil tanker, and he cut the end off of it to get this big metal disc, a big circle, and then he cut a hole in it, and the hole is kind of shaped like a person walking sideways through it, almost. And then again, like when you look at the pillars, because he made it out of a concrete. He made it out of multiple things. He even put metal in it, iron in it, to make sure moss would grow on it to give it the appearance of looking older. So he thought it out very well. but it almost looks like the shape of these weird oblong tall pillars. They're very, I'm so sorry guys, they're still blowing off the fucking fireworks. So the portal, and then his art in New York City, I believe it's in the Chrysler Building. He has it's just like this little glass mural, and it looks like shark fins swimming in a circle with a black hole in the middle looking like a portal. So this guy knows what he's doing. When you're making portal art like that constantly, you know what you're doing. And if you go to his Instagram, it's just Chris Cosma. He doesn't have a lot of his art on there. It's just some like paintings and maybe sculptures that he's done. But even that, it's very strange. He's got paintings, abstract paintings of red squares. And to me, it made me instantly think Saturn, the way the pictures presented. And then it's just like basic watercolor paintings of 2 blue pine trees. 2 pines. What has everyone been talking about recently that involves 2 pines? Anyone? No? Back to the Future?
Back to the Future?
Twin Pines Mall.
Yeah, so as soon as I saw that painting, I knew what that was. It was literally just 2 triangles with a little line, and it looked like two blue pine trees sitting next to each other. So I'm like, what's he trying to represent with that? Because that is the only thing that my brain links it to. So that I definitely think, even once I started looking into the events that took place on that day, the names, the people involved, the timestamps, the amount of shots fired, it's all one big occultic ritual. And I'm here to tell you all that nobody died that day. Not a single person.
Ooh, there it is. I knew it was coming.
Nobody's dying in these events, guys.
Staged as a motherfucker.
Right. It's
I
all
knew
staged.
it.
It's all
I think
staged.
you're
And I'm going
right.
to tell you, I did a lot of my research out of this book. It's called The 4th of May, Killings and Cover-Ups at Kent State, written by William A. Gordon. He was a student at Kent State, ended up becoming an editor or writer at the Akron Beacon Journal. Just a little bit before I came on this show, I came to the conclusion or the realization that even this book is total fucking bullshit. It's trying to point out to you that the National Guard murdered 4 people, shot 9 others, paralyzed one of them, and got away with it. They didn't get away with shit because it never fucking happened. The author put all the court hearings and everything in this, and even comments constantly about how they're getting off easy, they're not asking the right questions, the FBI isn't doing the right research. Within this book, he also says there was FBI informants on campus that day. Now, my friends always ask me, like,
does he talk about the victims in the book? Like,
not too much. I had to
really?
Not too much. I honestly had to Google a lot about the victims.
Like, are we sure that they're even real people?
That's
like,
what
did
I'm
they
saying.
ever
I couldn't
exist?
find
Do they
shit.
have cousins? Do they have moms? Do they have fucking social?
Yeah, they had parents, but I could not find anything on the parents other than these are the parents of.
May
Where they
I ask?
supposedly-
May I ask, what are your thoughts on the audio that came out? If you're familiar.
Are you talking about the recordings of the shootings?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so what he's asking very specifically, yes, this is where that when I started looking at this, I knew I was onto something. We had 13 seconds of shooting, 67 shots fired, 4 people dead, 9 injured. That's 13, 13, 13. I'm gonna break this down for you too. The distance that they were all hit, the 4 who died. Give me 1 second. Here's the distances they were all shot at. 330 feet, 265 feet, 6 plus 5 is 11, plus 2 is 13. Sandy Williams was shot from 390 feet, but on Wikipedia, it doesn't say the feet. It only says 130 yards. There's your 13. And William Schroeder was shot at 382 feet. 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 3 is 13. Make it make sense, guys. And are any of you familiar with Mr. John Lee Chalbeck and his 77 research? Yeah, so
yeah, man, John Lee's a good friend of mine.
Yes, John Lee talks about Kent State.
Yeah, he does.
Not only was the number 13 just everywhere right there, but it was 77 men, and John Lee missed this part, 77 men of Troop G, that's the 7th letter, marched up Blanket Hill, stood next to a pagoda, marched down the hill into the courtyard, made a circle, came back to the pagoda, turned around, started shooting. Now, during the volleys of shots, a big metal sculpture outside of Taylor Hall, which is on the highest point of campus. So there's another. They shot from the highest point on campus, guys. We're talking about mounds. In my opinion, I think Kent State was built on a giant mound. The whole area is hilly, like beyond belief. And the buildings look very, they look very Greco-Roman, like the pillars and everything. But Taylor Hall sat on the tallest hill on campus, exactly where they shot from, next to a pagoda. More symbolism. But when they shot, they hit a metal sculpture. And as a kid, when they took us to campus to teach us about all this, we had to take a piece of paper and do the coloring of the outline of the bullet hole. And I can tell you, even as a child, I knew that wasn't a bullet hole. Somebody just drilled a fucking hole in it. So even as a kid, I just always knew there was something story, man.
They actually traumatized the kids and made them put their fingers on the bullet.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. The memorial on campus, there's multiple memorials on campus, but the main one is literally they basically all were shot dead in a parking lot, so they put little pillars around that parking spot so no one can park there, and they light up at night. So literally you walk past where these dead bodies fell. And I grew up on that campus, dude. I rode my roller skates, my bike. I played basketball with the college kids growing up. I went to summer camps on that college. It's ingrained into my brain. Now, along with that, I want to tell you guys something. Out of the 4 students who died, 2 of them went to JFK high schools in different states. Just a coincidence? I guess so. All 4 of them were Jewish. Just a coincidence.
I saw that.
And every year that they have a memorial, it kind of turns into like a Jewish celebration. But I want to show you guys this on the inside of the cover. I looked up. As soon as I looked at this, it kind of reminded me instantly of Daily Plaza. So this is kind of the map that where the buildings are at, right? The direction they walked. The trees. Are you guys familiar with King Kill 33? They pulled off the same fucking ritual right here. King Kill 33, in that book, he basically states that everything about Daily Plaza and the whole event with JFK being shot was a ritual down to the shrubbery. The trees had symbolism. The bushes have symbolism. The names of the buildings have symbolism. I'm telling you, it was a King Kill 33 ritual, except they didn't go after one person. Now, there's stuff in this book, too, where it literally states how this was all pre-planned. Ronald Reagan was even quoting saying, if it takes a bloodbath to get them to knock it off, then that's what it's going to take. And if you look up the most famous picture that was taken on that day, it's of a 14-year-old runaway from Florida who ended up in Kent. Just so happened to have made friends with 3 out of the 4 victims. and was standing right next to him when he died. Can we say perfect fucking photo op? If you just go to Google and type in the girl from Kent State, the picture will come up. It won a Pulitzer Prize. It's her bent over this dead body screaming. And there's another picture I found from a different angle. The man who got shot, his name was Jeff. Sorry, Jeff, I forgot your last name. Jeffrey Miller. He supposedly got shot in the mouth. And when you look at the blood splatter on the ground, it literally looks like somebody took a big bag of fake blood, cut it, and just dragged it across the ground. It's like it's literally this wide of blood just dragged across the ground in a straight line. Looks like somebody took a paintbrush and painted it on the ground almost, just to give you that effect and to ring true of what Ronald Reagan's words were as governor of California. If it takes a bloodbath, then that's what we're going to give them. The events leading up to this day, May 4th. Now, this was on a Monday. Class was in session. Students just walking to class got hit, supposedly. It was the weekend prior that was very telling as well. Starting on Friday, a biker group came to town during the protests and the riots that were supposed to just be on campus. Somehow it moved downtown Kent, where there was 53 plus bars in our small downtown area. And a biker gang called the Chosen Few showed up doing biker tricks in the streets. And then people started breaking glass, smashing windows, starting fires, looting stores. Well, cops ended up getting everything sorted out. The next day, pretty much on Saturday, the same thing happens, just not downtown. What really started all of this was the attack on the ROTC building on campus. It was put up during World War II. Okay. It was made out of just wood, so it was rickety, it was really old, and it was ready to go up at any minute anyways. The events that the author in this book describe, he paints the picture pretty much as everyone involved, including the firemen, the police, the sheriffs, and the people trying to burn the building down, seemed like they were all working together, but trying to make it seem like they weren't. The people who burnt down the building were dressed in all black. You couldn't see their faces. They barely knew how. It took them like 45 minutes to even get the fire started. And let's ask the question, why did it take them 45 minutes if the firefighters and the police were already present? So once the fire was caught on, once the building was caught on fire, the firemen basically let it burn down. They barely even put it out. The very next day, the National Guard gets called. The governor of Ohio, Governor Rhodes at the time, comes to town, takes a nice little photo op with the burnt down building, and they all have a meeting in the fire department. Then you got the head chief of fire, the chief of police, sheriff, the governor, the mayor, and anybody else who was important enough to be in that meeting was there. And that happened on Sunday, the day before the shootings.
Matthew, this sounds exactly like a military training exercise. Like they're just going beat by beat by beat at the right time to, fit into the program. So, in a military training exercise, they would take you through each step, even though it wasn't fully necessary,
Yeah, the author even... Go ahead, Julia.
Oh, I was just going to say, anybody who's read Program to Kill, their ears are just burning, because this sounds like the 1966 Charles Whitman, Texas, when he went up to the tower at the school and just started blowing people's heads off like that. To me, this is like just a few years after that, so it's kind of like they're running the same kind of
thank you Troubles
game.
Troubles just said so. There was this group called the Weatherman. Yep. I believe they were out of Michigan. They were a black rights activist group, and they were rumored to have been coming to Kent that day, on that Saturday. No one ever saw him. But nobody ever saw who the fuck burnt down the ROTC building either. They even made a movie about it years later. In 1981, they made a movie, and this is Treble's favorite. On August 8th, an 8-day, they brought out a made-for-TV movie depicting the ROTC building being burnt down. And I'm going to read a quick quote out of the book. They looked like Ku Klux Klansmen, only they were dressed in black. Each mysterious figure tossed a torch into a window of the building, thereby standing a conflagration. The camera then shifted to the cutesy female radical who turned to her clean-cut boyfriend and asked, "Who are these people?" Her friend shrugged. "Who are these people?" Her friend shrugged and whispered, "I don't know," with an air of puzzlement. That was just a quick scene from the made-for-TV depicting the events.
That's the Process Church. They dress up in those wild outfits. They do that all the time, and they were very closely associated with the Weatherman, so they could have just been going as the Weatherman.
Dude, I mean, I don't know, because I never even heard of the Weatherman, but
But why did they burn down the ROTC?
As basically as the reason to get the National Guard. That was
so they did it
once
on
that
purpose.
burnt down, the very next day, the governor came to town, who was already losing his campaign against William Taft's. I think I can't remember. It was a Taft, descendant of the President Taft, who was also running for governor of Ohio against this guy. So one, this solidified Rhodes's governorship. That fucking photo op. Two, burning down the ROTC building was, it got too violent. Things are being burnt down. We got to bring in backup. As soon as that thing burnt down, the National Guard came into town the very next day. And they worked the shit out of those boys. Most of those National Guardsmen were younger than the age of 24, and they were up all night Sunday night before the massacre. They got maybe an hour of sleep before they were woken up and told to go to start shooting or to start patrolling. And they patrolled for quite a while, with students throwing rocks at you and sticks, and none of these guys have ever seen combat before either. So whether, in my opinion, if the guardsmen weren't cued in on it, maybe they slipped fake bullets in their gun, duds.
Well, you got to think about this in terms of
a lot behind it.
You got to think about counterintelligence. So this is the perfect rear guard action to take the attention away from Vietnam.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm gonna get into a few more things real quick. Because I want to get everybody else's opinion on this too. So, we had multiple things that also took place that hit the media afterwards. It was one of the girls who were shot was said to been pictured putting a flower in the barrel of a gun and saying flowers are better than bullets. Anybody familiar to that? You've seen it in the media.
Isn't that like a famous picture?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's also the opening scene of The Watchmen. They don't tell you that scene when the girl puts the flower in the end of the barrel of that gun and then they all get shot. They're basically, to me, that's 100% Kent State that they're representing in that. Now, another person who was shot that day, he wasn't killed. He was paralyzed. He ended up becoming a politician. And I won't get too much into him, but his story too was crazy. Sorry.
I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
I don't know if this has already been asked. Was there a name given to the alleged shooter from the Ohio National?
No, it was the entire National Guard. 23 men fired.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And wasn't there?
They couldn't determine it.
Wasn't, and maybe I'm mistaking this. Wasn't there some alleged rumor that a sniper had fired on the guardsmen from the ROTC building?
No.
Okay.
No, the ROTC was already burnt down. It was already a pile of rubble. That happened on Saturday night, and then the shootings happened Monday.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Yep. No, you're good. Yeah. So that this event itself infiltrated culture on a big time level. People all over the world started rioting over this. But the funny thing is about this, once things started dying down, this event basically was the changing point from the 60s into the 70s. You went from the 60s being the civil rights movement, all these civil rights riots, all these war riots and protests, to all culminating to the spring of 1970. The springtime's a great time to do a ritual when you want to start something new, isn't it? Well, about time we get a new decade going, isn't it? So they kill 4 students on their own campus, injure 9 more. Most of the protests went out the window after that, because then 2 weeks later, 2 more people died at Jackson State down in Alabama.
Could I add something, Matthew?
Mm-hmm.
So I think, to a degree, like, because right after you had Nixon does the midnight, late night visit to the Lincoln Memorial after Kent State, and you also have, not that long after, the Houston plan being developed amongst the intelligence agencies, which was going to be like involving further black bag jobs and kind of like centralizing the information they gathered. And the only thing that stopped it, supposedly, was J. Edgar Hoover, who was towards the end of his, evil life, and was the one who kind of said, no, we're not going to do it. And Tom Houston was only like 20 something years old, but it was supposed to be like taking all the information from CIA, FBI, DIA, all these groups, and trying to pinpoint exactly where the funding was coming from for basically the protest movement. Like, they thought it had to be from like Russia, like it had to be communist. It was still some of that, peak Cold War
coming
logic.
from us. All it comes from us. we're funding our own protesters to protest against us.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's to me, it's just they pull off rituals to invoke change.
I had a quick question.
Oh, go ahead.
And it's about the ritual aspect of this. So you were saying that you really didn't think that anybody actually died in this, but if they were pulling off a ritual, and I get with these false flags, a lot of people don't die, but wouldn't actual bloodshed fuel the ritual and not just the act of it? Do you think that there might have been some actual victims in there? Maybe not what we were told, but at least some bloodshed?
In my opinion, because I've been looking at all these different events kind of through this microscope for a while, they still have karma to deal with. So I think you don't have. I get the bloodshed aspect. Everyone, I think we've all been watching movies a little bit.
The intention behind it is probably enough.
Yes,
right?
it's the attention.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think we've all been watching movies too much. We have to see that bloodshed for the ritual to be powerful. I don't think it actually works like that. I honestly think their lies tricking us invokes more energy for them.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, like, if you kill 4 people, but you have
now they have that karma on them. Why would you want that karma on you?
And everyone thinks that you killed 4 people anyway. So in a sense, that ritual would work as well, right? Because perception is reality. And you usually see there's always something that's occultic behind all of these, false flags. Or
it's a great way to launder bodies. If you got to get rid of some other bodies and then make them think that it was killed in this other shooting.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking at this.
No, I'm also the reason why I'm finally, because for the longest time I was riding the fence. Like, they probably did die, but I grew up in Kent, and now I kind of live in Akron, Ohio, home of Judith Resnick. Familiar? 1986 Challenger shuttle, also didn't die in her tragedy. So why? It's not far-fetched, guys. And it's only 15 minutes down the street from each other.
They just got to make you think that 4 people died in a bloody massacre and their blood and guts were all over the place. And that's
part of the ritual. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense to me, as long as they can get the masses to believe that there was this bloody, horrible, gruesome thing that happened.
Totally agree.
It doesn't really have to happen. You just need to believe that it did.
Yeah.
For
You
them,
know,
it's
I was just
setting
going to
up.
say,
I'm sorry.
you know, if you look at rituals and ceremonies, what is it mostly of? Show, basically. It's entertainment. It's something that
Uh,
gets people's mind and ideas flowing. And that's why you have different theories and what's going on. I'm not saying that this didn't happen, but I'm just saying that rituals and ceremonies is all about entertainment.
I was going to
It's
say, for
entertainment
them,
for
it's
everybody.
setting up the ritual, the place, the time, the symbols used, everything that Matthew was talking about earlier, to get this energy pool, this reaction from everybody, you know, and at a mass consciousness scale would be, you know, hell of a lot of energy, I'd say.
Now, let me tell you a little bit
Well-
about Kent City real quick. We have the Cuyahoga River that runs through it, and on opposite sides of our downtown Main Street, the river obviously is at the bottom. We got two hills that go up on Main Street. On one side, we have a Masonic temple that was built by Marvin Kent, who was a railroad entrepreneur. He brought the railroad into Kent to make it what it is today. And under after looking into the history of Kent, it's in my opinion that Marvin Kent stole Kent from the previous family who settled this area and had it named after them, the Haymakers. Marvin Kent was from Connecticut, one of the many prominent men who moved out east to Ohio to settle. He was also good friends with Carnegie Mellon. Carnegie donated money to Marvin Kent to build our city library that still stands today. Kent also has something called Standing Rock. And Standing Rock Cemetery. And in the back of Standing Rock Cemetery, the Cuyahoga River flows, and there is a giant rock. You can fit 30 people standing on it in the middle of the river with absolutely no other rocks near it. And it was well known for being a meeting place for native tribes. All the tribes in the area would come and congregate and meet at this one rock in Kent, Ohio. So the landscape, the Indian mounds, Standing Rock, it's all screams geomancy and energy rituals to me.
Kent is actually only a couple hours away from like Serpent Mound in Ohio, and like a lot
we're
of
on
these.
the opposite end a little bit. Kent,
Yeah,
Serpent Mound's more towards Cincinnati, but
I think
there's
it's like
mounds
3
here too.
hours away, maybe, if I'm remembering right.
3.5, yeah.
Like 3.5. But I'm just saying the whole area is actually kind of supercharged with some ancient weirdness. And it's like you said, maybe like a Native American or whoever came before them, that, you know, they always say, oh, the Native Americans built these mounds, and they're like, no, we didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So whatever was going on in this area, it's anciently old.
And are they on certain ley lines or something? Because, you know, that could
We're right just outside the 40th parallel. Yeah, we're
okay.
I tried. I even went on Google Earth to see, because I really was like, something was telling me like this is connected to 9/11. You just need to see if there's any parallels. And I kept looking at it, and I even went as far to see like how close are we. New York and the Twin Towers are like right on the 40th parallel. We sit a little bit above it, so it's almost a straight shot. You know, just you got to go a little bit south, but it's mostly just a straight shot east. And Route 76. Good God, I always forget about this. Route 76 starts right outside of Akron, Ohio, and ends in New Jersey, but it runs right outside of Kent, 7613, and Kent's exit is exit 33. I even found markers in old news articles back in the 50s. In 1951, they put just a small little snippet about Kent State's growth. And it said, Kent State now has 119,000 students enrolled, with 11 head of faculty members, with 33 buildings on campus. Could you get more occultic with those numbers there? And for anybody who doesn't,
what did that say about Bob Dylan in this little article right
Oh,
here?
okay. So yeah, he was talking about the some black people in underground, the Weatherman underground. So the Weatherman underground weren't just a black group of individuals. They were a mixture of different individuals. The Black Panthers and them actually worked together at a time. They had an alliance, so that's probably why you've seen them with them. So this article from, I guess, 1969, the Bob Dylan that you was talking about, let me see, because I zoomed in on it.
Go up a little bit. His name was in blue. Go up
Yeah,
a
there
little
we
bit,
go, right
right
here.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're connecting Bob Dylan to this movement.
Well, they're saying, let's see.
Well, yeah, the
Just-
Weather Underground, the Weathermen, they were an offshoot of the Students of a Democratic Society. And by 1970, they had, I don't know, I mean, I think what's his name? John Potash in his book, CIA is the Drugs as Weapons Against Us, said like LSD, when it got introduced to people like Bernardine Dorn and what's his name? Bill Ayers, they kind of went a little bit more violent. Like Bernardine Dorn was on record cheering the Manson murders. Like that's what we need to do, sort of thing.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Just a couple of CIA fuckers just teaming up.
Wasn't
Well, and
Weather
also,
So what it was
Barack
saying, so
Obama.
what it was, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just real quick,
Yeah,
wasn't
listen.
Weather Underground formulated in Ann Arbor with Michigan State in
There
1960?
was the Lake Huron. There was like some sort of like conference they had there. That's, I think, like was like a formative meeting for them. That was
The
like a
reason
big
because
thing. Like,
I bring it up is because Miller had one of the alleged victims. Miller had transferred from MSU to Kent State in that year,
Correct.
and he had done some protesting prior to his Kent State protesting at MSU. Didn't he not?
That's correct. That's exactly correct. Yeah. Yeah. I believe he was also one of the 2 who went to JFK high schools.
And he was supposed to transfer to New York, or he was being encouraged to transfer to New York. And I believe one of the girls, Allison, she was in a relationship with Barry Levine or something.
Correct.
And her to transfer to New York as
Who
well.
also had the same name as her mother's maiden name. Her boyfriend Barry. I thought that was weird. So all 4 of these people who died were connected. They all knew each other.
So Barry Levine, he wasn't the TV producer, is he?
I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know if that's the same guy. There's so much more interesting stuff I could tell you guys. Well, here's one because Trebles mentioned it. Thank you so much, Trebles. Just the year prior, Kent State is well known for having a breakthrough in LCD technology studies. That's a $1 billion tech industry now. Best believe when college campuses who are studying high tech stuff like this, especially liquid crystal back in the 70s, best believe the CIA showed up on those doorsteps of Kent State. Couldn't find anything on it. Well, let's just use our brains here. A $1 billion tech industry, RCA being one of the biggest companies who picked up the tech from Kent State and ran with it.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so that's
Liquid crystal.
Liquid crystal was created at Kent State. Yes. So that's a huge part of the story too, I think. I just haven't really broke through to find the connections because there's so many names. There's so much digging I have to do. Quite honestly, I think I need to go to Kent State and just raid their archives, but I got to find the time for that. On top of all this research, I got a full-time job over here and busting my butt. So
another name in that article is Bill Ayers, I believe. I just saw Bill Ayers in that article. He was related to our former president Obama. I guess they had connections in Chicago, not necessarily while he was president, but it's interesting. I saw that name there.
Now, Bill
Ayers.
Ayers? Yeah, right here, right? Bring that back up, Nick.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, Bill Ayers.
Yeah, Bill Ayers
when you
and
come up-
Bernardine Dorn were Chesa Bowden's surrogate parents when Chesa Bowden, the future DA of San Francisco, DA of San Francisco, his mom, Kathy, was on the run for, I think, a Brinks truck heist. Because at one point, like the Weather Underground went from bombings to just kind of like split up, either on the run or being involved with, members of possibly what was left of the Black Panthers and, things like that, and getting in all sorts of drug-induced chaos or possibly controlled chaos, being involved, Fed operations for all we know. But yeah, Bill Ayers afterwards, him and Bernardine Dorn wound up being like Barack Obama's like advisors in one form or another. That Chicago connection.
Real quick, I kind of skipped this point to some numbers of the day. When the troops started their descent up Blanket Hill, down the hill, and walked back, it started at 12:20 and ended at 12:24. So they took a 4-minute stroll and turned around and murdered 4 people. And it's more numbers for you. It just keeps adding up. But then even throughout history, they keep reusing these numbers. Eventually, back in 2022, on 12/2/2022, Kent's most famous building, the Star of the West Mill, burnt down. I don't know what relevance that has, but just all those numbers just keep lining up with Kent for some reason. And even in my own life, the numbers 12/22, I constantly see it. I don't know why. I even catch it in movies. So those numbers are important. It was in the movie Leave the World Behind, the scene where they're sitting in the car and they have the guns drawn. A little sticker in the very front of the window, it says 12/22 on it. So stupid shit like that always pops out at me. But we know with tragedy comes triumph. You got the New Orleans flood, Saints win the Super Bowl. Houston has a flood, Houston starts winning World Series. 9/11 happens, the New England Patriots are the best goddamn team for the next 20 years. Kent State went from having the worst goddamn college football team you've ever seen to winning their one and only MAC championship with guys like Nick Saban, who came to the college campus, Jack Lambert, who was from the area. And then we started getting all these famous people coming out of Kent. Arsenio Hall, Michael Keaton, Joe Walsh, Devo, cartoonist Tom, I can never say his name, Badwick, Funk Winkerbean, if you guys are familiar. And then, of course, Christopher Cosma, the artist. Kent wasn't known for having anyone famous come out. The only thing that came out of Kent State was teachers, doctors, and the LCD tech. So I thought it was kind of interesting after a major tragedy like this, they start getting all this famous people. Oh, Drew Carey and Steve Harvey. So you got 3 talk show hosts who all came out of Kent State. And we all know talk show hosts work for the CIA. We all know that.
So it's some sort of fertility ritual then. So it's like what's this?
You can say that, yeah. Kent State's winning. Because I tried connecting everything, because I know it's all connected. So you just got to look at it and find it. Their winning record was .222 the year before the shootings. So the 1970 season, their winning record was .222. I have a feeling that has something to do with the ritual too. It's just the numbers speak to me for some reason. It's hard for me not to pay attention to them and listen to them. But I feel like I'm missing something. There's so much more. I don't know if you guys got anything. What's that?
I was just saying, I feel like you're spot on with a lot of this. And I mean, when you look at these numbers, you go back to 9/11. I mean, it's clearly a Crowleyan ritual with the numbers 9 and 11. The 2 towers and then the 77th floor and all. I mean, and you had brought up John Lee earlier, and he gets into all that. So does William Ramsey. There's a bunch of good talking heads on that subject. But no, I do think the numbers tie in to a big part of the ritual.
Yeah, and I almost forgot they were even Kent State eventually built their one of the. It's this trifecta with 3 other colleges. They have one of the world's biggest collective of medical information in the world. They broke ground and started building their 12-story library right around these shootings happened also. So yeah, more fertility.
One thing
And
love
I can't find anywhere in feet how tall the building is. I searched for 4 days. I tried multiple different search methods. The only thing I can get it to say is it's a 12-story building. That says something.
That's kind of weird.
It's really weird. You can't give me the.
Could it be the observatory?
No, it's just their Kent.
Oh,
the
you
Kent
said
State
library, right?
library. Yeah, it's the Kent State's
okay,
library.
there you
It's
go.
a huge. It's the tallest building in Portage County.
Hold on, I got you right here, homie.
Oh, and here's the point I missed. When Kent State was created, it was started as a normal school. One of two normal schools.
Oh,
Yeah,
let's
that's a huge building for my area.
look
You
at
got to
the
go all the
area.
way to
Yep.
Akron to go to the next tall building.
Look at that right there. You see
Yeah, pop off a
kind of
lot.
like an X in the middle. It kind of looks like it's forming a
Almost like a
hexagram.
Oh, zoomed out too far.
Way too far.
I
But
thought I saw a swastika.
Yeah. I thought
They
I saw
have.
that
I don't
too.
know. I have yet to look at the way the campus is laid out. It's changed a lot in the past 10 years. Kent State is
Yo, Tyrone, get us on Google Earth.
they're getting so much money that they're starting to buy up the downtown city area, putting up hotels and stuff. Like the campus went from being just, having a nice little campus to like it's pristine as fuck now.
There's
But
definitely stuff in there, man.
Kent State started off as a normal school. It was a teacher's college in 1911. The college kind of broke grounds for its campus. It opened its doors in 1913. So there's your number 13 again. But it started off as a teacher's college to teach people how to become teachers. I couldn't find anything, but my brain instantly went to, oh, this is part of them installing the Prussian school system, wasn't it? You're teaching teachers how to teach. I couldn't find too much on who was backing the college other than Marvin Kent was. There was a bid between Kent, Ohio and Ravenna, Ohio to have the campus in either city. They're right next to each other. Ravenna is actually like the capital of Portage County, but somehow Kent ended up winning the bid to have the college built on their land. Ravenna, Ohio is known for Maynard. Why can't I think of his full name? Lead singer of Tool is from Ravenna, Ohio, right down the street.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? Skinny Puppy. They are associated, I think, Process Church. And they have an album called The Process. I don't know if this song was off of that album, but they do. I never understood why, but like in one of their songs, they mentioned Ohio, Kent State back in '68. Things were so great. I have no idea what to make out of anything.
What song is that?
Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, Laurel Canyon also have a song about Kent.
Or dead in Ohio. Yeah.
Oh, something
I
else.
believe Bob Dylan even sang about had a song about Sandy who died.
Sandy Hook.
Yeah, so her name was Sandra Schuer, aka Sandy Lee. She was one of the girls who died. She was from Youngstown.
Matthew, real quick before you continue, and I think it was more because Jules brought it up. Talking about like Crowley stuff with 9/11. Every plane that was involved in that. I know, like Hellis and Lisa and Ethan have probably heard this 100 times out of my mouth. But all the planes that were used, they all go back to those numbers. Aleister Crowley, whenever he made his books, he always gave them a number as well, and all of those numbers match. They all match books, or they even match I think they match like Libra Oz, which is kind of like a statement of, I guess, like what a Thelemite is. But another interesting thing to mention about that I had the book. It was called Liber Astarte. Now, in the book, there was nothing about killing anything or anybody, but that book is based on giving you ideas of like offerings to the gods that you're working with. So I did even find that like pretty fucking weird. I was like, damn, like even that book is involved with the ones that hit the planes, the building supposedly, whatever. Weird. That is weird how they all match Crowley shit.
But to what Headless was saying about this being a fertility ritual of some sort, maybe the artist, that guy you were first talking about, maybe he kind of knew that, and that's why those obelisks look like phalluses.
Okay, let me go back to that real quick.
Do you have a picture of that, by the way?
We're on Google Earth. We could probably zoom in on it.
Supposed portal, or the what you said you saw?
It's all on my phone. And
Tyrone, go back up.
Let me.
We got to
Nick,
find the forest.
I got you guys. Nick, I'm gonna send you some stuff on Instagram because it's the fastest and easiest for me.
Man, let me throw a little tidbit in right quick.
Please.
Hey, I'm gonna reshare this. Hey, I was in the forest, man, but there wasn't nothing that you could really see in there, man. It's just like a trail, and it's just
no, it's hidden, bro. I'm gonna show you guys some pictures. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna send.
I was on there looking for it, and I couldn't find anything that was really interesting to look out. It just looked like a regular trail, basically.
Yeah,
they probably photoshopped over it anyway.
The portal fell over. I'm gonna show you guys the picture. The portal's completely knocked over, and I talked to the artist. He said if you and some friends want to grab a backhoe, because it's definitely gonna take a backhoe to pick that thing up, you guys can put it back up for me. But he doesn't care. He's like, I don't care if it's knocked over. I wanted it to look like it's ancient and it's been there for a millennia. Okay, Nick, I sent you some stuff on Instagram. Hopefully you can pull those up. I sent you his art, some photos of his art, even the one with the 9/11 hidden in it, and the art of the portal in the woods. I have a picture of it still erect, which is very telling. So hopefully we can get those brought up. Go ahead, I'll shut up.
I also wanted to say that when we ran the gematria, it came up with Kent State equaling Freemasons, as well as Ride the Lightning and Goddess Mars, which I find interesting.
Kent State Golden Flashes. We are the Golden Flashes, and we use a golden eagle for our mascot, and a lightning bolt. So, whoa, nail on the fucking head. And real
Man,
quick,
let me throw this in right quick.
Go ahead, Hank.
Oh, so the Kent State was on the 4th of May, right? It only took 25 days for Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young to perform Ohio for the first time live on the 29th. 25 days, 2-5, there's your 7. And that just proves that they had that in the bucket, just waiting on it,
So the other day I wanted to search up some pictures, and I typed in May 4th, as in the word fourth instead of 4th on accident. May 4th students. I hit enter and Google. You want to know what I found? In 1919, the May 4th students was a Chinese revolution which brought Chinese communism into play.
Damn.
They love using these numbers, man. So I typed something in trying to get one result and got something completely fucking different. But guess what? It still follows the exact same game plan. It's changed. So yes, I think it is a bit of a fertility ritual, but in my opinion, it's a change ritual. They're invoking change on the population by scaring the shit out of us and making us create the change for them.
Order out of chaos.
Thank you. Yes.
Right.
And
May is sacrifice time in ancient times, so this would be like Beltane.
Yeah.
So this is when they would have the sacrifices.
Yeah, and it was also a Trebles, Mr. Garcia, my favorite podcasting buddy. While I was podcasting with him, he went out of his way to type in what was the moon phase of that day. It was a waxing gibbous moon just a day or two before a new moon. Then he looked up 9/11.
Oh, wow.
Exact same thing, except just it was a waxing gibbous moon at a higher percentile. See there? Look how that thing's shaped. It's shaped just
it
like
looks
the
like
pillars.
it's for somebody who's very tall.
It's the same size as the pillars. Yeah. The
like
pillars
an
are
eyeball.
about 6.5, 7 feet tall. I'm
The artist said that these were not supposed to be phallic in nature.
No, he said what he was trying to show was an upside down grave.
That's definitely
Well, he's full of shit because it looks like a bunch of fucking dicks.
Let me get to this. Let me get to this real quick. And I apologize for jumping around. once the artist graduated from Kent State, he wasn't doing shit with his life, so he moved out to New York City and landed in this flat apartment in the same building as the CBGB. Once he got into, I mean, literally right behind the CBGB. And once he got to New York and got settled down, he called up some more artist buddies from Kent State, and they all moved to New York City with him. And they basically started an artist group called the Mebwebwe Group. Mebwebwe has no meaning whatsoever. It's not even a real word. But some people say what the artist told me is it means laughter in Swahili, and they called themselves the Mebwebwe Group because one guy in the group would run around screaming that word for some reason. That's exactly what he told me verbatim. So this Mebwebwe Group, you may not have ever heard of them, but if you guys Wikipedia, they were in a lot of cultural aspects in the 70s. They helped push the funk movement with their art. Not to mention they were right behind the CBGB, which screams CIA all over to me.
And so I think
Chris went out of his way to tell me this, how he rented the flat from an old Jewish guy who owned a deli. Okay, well, that's an interesting fact. Go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. I'm sorry for interrupting. If you go back to just the goddess Mars piece real quick, Mars, while associated with war, is also associated with fertility, most likely due to being the child of Juno. So if this really is one big giant fertility ritual, it's interesting that Mars is mentioned.
That's a great point. Wow.
Well, yeah, it's kind of the same with Venus, the masculine. I think maybe the Greeks. I don't know if Headless can correct me on that.
Hephaestus was originally married to Aphrodite, but the first person that she cheated on him with was Mars, and so the idea was that basically people are always in love with war, you know.
So they go hand in hand.
Right.
All right. Okay.
Just a couple dicks sprinkled in there, of course.
So during this conversation I had with Mr. Cosma, he also told me that I believe it was the general who was on campus that day for the National Guard happens to be friends with his family. Even went as far to say that the first rifle strap he ever owned came off of a gun that this general gave his father. The artist also went to as far because I was very respectful. I when I called him, I made sure I was interested in his art and I wanted to hear his story about it. I tried not to give him the conspiracy side of it. I ended up breaking. And I told him why I contacted him. And I told him I was breaking down this story. And I think there's something bigger behind it. He immediately told me, well, I want you to know that the people involved with that fire and the people who were there that day with the National Guard, they had nothing to do with each other. It's not like they knew each other or something. It was just events just happened the way they happened. So yeah, I guess so.
Oh, so he went out of his way to be like
out of his way to tell me like, oh yeah, well this group of people and that it happened the way it was all by chance. Like Chris,
it's like, oh, who are you to say that? I'm sorry. Who are you? Why would I trust anything you have to say?
You mentioned that he graduated Kent. I apologize, but was he going to Kent when the
No, he was still in high school at Hudson High School, which is where my boss graduated from, and I work right down the road from. So it's right down the road from us. Yeah.
So he was in high school when it happened.
He was in high school when the shootings happened.
Even more of a reason to fuck you. You were in high school at the time. What are you, a fucking expert on shit? You was like 14 at the time.
Julie, like, are you aware of Hudson? It's a very uppity town. It's part of the Western Reserve.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you guys aren't familiar with the Western Reserve, it was basically this part of Ohio used to be Connecticut. and it was the
Right.
Western Reserve of Connecticut. It ended right around in this area. So Hudson is it's a very rich, uppity town. Okay. Chris was born with money already. His parents got money. Hey, whoever's controlling the screen right now, go to Google and type in home horse. Home horse. Chris, even though he's an artist, he's a bit of an inventor also. He built this horse training device that you sit on in your house so you can work on your gallop. I want you guys to see his logo for home horse. It's quite telling. Quite telling. We'll bring that up in a second. But
Matt, while he's bringing that up, I got a question for you.
Yes, please.
Oh,
look at that H.
The,
if you can click on it, look at the H on his logo. It looks like two fucking towers.
It does.
It does.
Not to mention, I'm sorry, real quick before you ask the question. Kent State campus has twin towers and tri-towers on the campus also. So like this thing it's not just New York City. I'm sure there's other towns that have twin towers in them. Go ahead with your question. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You said you've been to that mural that's out in the woods, right?
Yeah.
All right. So was that disc still up when you went there?
No, it's completely knocked over. It's heavy as fuck.
Right, do you know that when it was up, like if you would approach it from what the artist would consider the front of the piece, would you be looking? Would it be like the disc? Would it be caved away from you, or like you know what I'm at? Like would it be?
Well, the way he had it set up, the way it actually is, it's you got a pillar here, the disc here, and 3 more pillars over here. So it was like 3 of the bodies already entered, and the 4th one was supposed to go in. But to me, what he told me was, he offset it like that just to make it visually look better. I was like, no, you didn't, Chris. I know what the fuck you set it up for. That's a visual representation of souls being transported.
Did you ask him why?
Yeah. Go ahead, Julia.
Why did he want to put it way the fuck out in the woods where nobody could look at it or appreciate it,
right,
or
like,
even know it exists?
And I couldn't because he said he wanted it to look like it'd been there for a millennia. For a very long time.
Yeah, he also invented a fucking hobby horse fucking weird thing that you sit on at your house with some weird symbolism. I mean, he's just a weirdo. He's like, you know what I'm talking about.
He was an absolute gentleman to talk to. I feel bad sitting here talking shit about him, but I'm sorry, Mr. Cosmo, you're part of something bigger and you need to stop lying to us. Yeah.
I wanted to point that out. So the way he reacted sounds like he had heard that accusation before.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
The first
and
thing.
Like I said, even I took my book sleeve off. Even this book, I guarantee any real deep conspiracy junkie who's ever looked into this saw this, read this, and was like, oh yeah, they definitely killed those kids. That was definitely a cover up. Our government's doing something to us. They're getting away with it. No, they're getting away with even more than that because they didn't kill anybody. They just lied to an entire population. They lied to the world. People in Asia was rioting over the May 4th shootings. It was a worldwide event. It was huge. And like I said, it was the marker to kill the 60s civil rights protests and start the new 70s. Let's go do coke and fuck each other. You want to get fucked? Come on, let's fuck. You want to get fucked? Let's fuck. Like the 70s was just everything downgraded. And I don't know if any of you have ever paid attention to this, but isn't it funny how like throughout history, you look at the time periods, you got the 15, 16, 17, 1800s. But then when you get to the 1900s, it's not 100 years that defines it. It's literally every fucking decade, it's something new. Our entire culture is being changed every 10 years.
It used to be. It stopped at about 2000.
Yeah, now we're into and I think that was the ritual of 9/11. They fucked with time. They fucked with time big time.
Yep.
And now we're stuck in some kind of time loop where I don't know if you guys looked around, but I could go to an amusement park and literally see people who look like they stepped out of the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Hell, I see people dressing up like they're from the 1920s today. So what the fuck is going on? Are you guys
No,
with
And
me? I mean,
everybody's riding a fucking hobby horse.
my son is a 17-year-old punk
That's
rocker.
why
He
I'm
needs
cracking up, y'all. I'm
that
so
doesn't
sorry
matter.
for cracking up because I'm looking at this shit. I'm just like, yo, what
You
the
see this
fuck?
hobby
Really?
horse?
Yeah, like-
No, but it killed me.
That is
I
creepy
do it, and I
shit.
found that on accident too. Like when I typed his name into Google and I'm searching stuff, like I was just looking for art, and then I found that, and the H caught my eye. I didn't know that was
Yeah.
his company until I clicked on it.
This
was like,
is how
"Why's that
rich
H look
people
like
do
towers?"
chores at
That
home,
could
or
that
what?
could definitely represent the two towers or
It does,
the
dude.
two pillars of Solomon. You know, it
No, yeah,
being
you know,
tied to
they're
Freemasonry, perhaps.
absolutely one and
Who
the
has
same.
an HH name?
There you go. Yeah.
Are there any HH names out there?
I don't know. The first thing that came to my mind was
Excuse
Hail
me,
Hitler.
Matthew, have you looked into the history of the Department of Defense research at Kent State? I know they started in the late 50s and they were pretty prominent in the 60s. Would you happen to know exactly what department and what they were researching at Kent State?
No, I have not gotten into that. That's
Okay.
that's
Do you,
say that
the
one
other
again. It
thing,
was Department of Defense
also
Research?
DARPA does business with Kent State. I just don't know.
See, I didn't even find nothing like that. That's insane.
Okay.
And you was
See,
talking
and
about
there,
art,
look,
bro.
this,
Look at that.
real quick, guys. You see the picture he's got up right now?
Yeah.
If you go to his
see?
Instagram, he's got 2 more pictures exactly like it.
And what
Red-
does that
red
have to do with
squares.
the hobby horse?
I have no idea, but it screams Saturn to me. He's got 3 pictures.
Is this guy well off because of the hobby horse and all
No,
of this
he's well
stuff?
off
Is
because
like
he was born into money. He came out of Hudson, Ohio. All right.
so
like,
he's just doing this stuff for fun, making
dude
rich
with the-
people look like retards on Instagram.
Did we
Hey,
show
that
the
dude with
pictures?
the cowboy hat, man, need to take that shit off. That's so disrespectful, man. Look at this shit. Like,
Did you guys see the pictures of his art from New York City? All of his art is worth. I think, and honestly, I think his wife is his
My bad,
handler.
I
I think his wife is the genius here because most
Yeah,
of the art in New York
where's she
City. I can't think of her name. It's Ames, something Ames, Ames.
Yo, Tyrone, you were rocking a cowboy hat. I saw that.
yeah, but I rock it way better than that
Yeah,
shit,
you
man.
did.
That's
Yeah,
why
you
I say
did.
it's
I bet you
disrespectful,
As
were.
long as you're not rocking it on a hobby horse,
No,
I don't
he
give a
pulled it
fuck
off.
where
Tyrone
you
definitely
have it
pulled
on.
off. No, he definitely pulled it off.
Yeah, so I this guy knows the symbolism. He let me know personally that his parents were connected to people who were higher ups that were there on campus that day. He didn't have to tell me that shit, but he did. He opened his mouth. He said a few telling things to me that day. I do plan on. I hope to God this interview doesn't get to him yet, because I do plan on reaching out to him again and telling him instead of just. Because he caught me off guard. I thought he was just going to talk to me for 10 minutes. It went on for 2 hours. I was in my car. As soon as I got off work, I called him. And I was sweating in my car for 2 hours. I couldn't stop him from talking. And I was just like, just keep giving me more. But, I wish I was recording it. So hopefully I can get him to actually do a interview.
I mean,
with
Matthew, really, if he does hear about this interview and he listens to it, what's the worst that can happen? He cancel you from buying hobby horses. I mean, like he's
I'm with
literally
you.
got
I
you.
really would like to get everything he told me out to all of you, so all of you can dissect it the way I do. You know what I mean?
It sounds like he's not gonna be honest about stuff, though. It sounds like he'll tell you what you want to hear.
We don't need him to be
and
honest.
then
We are
Yeah,
smart
it's-
enough to
it's
pick out
almost-
the lies at this point.
Right.
I would hope so.
It's almost easier to have him lie his ass off because then you know exactly what he's lying about.
We already know. We already know what he could say to be lying. I already know. Bring it, guys. I'm not out here to get famous. I'm not out here to make money off of podcasting. I actually have a story even fucking way bigger than this that I'm behind right now. This Kent State story was just for fun for me. Being from Kent, listening to all your guys' podcasts and all the research you guys do. I walk around every day with my third eye open, not to steal that from the Cult of Conspiracy, but I love those guys too. And Julia, actually, I did one of my big shows. That's the Fountain of Youth story with those guys. Please check it out.
I will. That sounds
it's
very
amazing.
interesting.
It's a very touching topic for me
It's wild, and it's still happening right now as we speak.
It's
So
still going. It's happening, and this isn't a conspiracy just to theorize over. This is a conspiracy to get involved in. I'm not here just to talk about conspiracies and point them out. I'm here to make some change. I'm here to stop this bullshit. If we know the rituals they're gonna do before they do them, and I don't mean like literally pinpoint the rituals like old Ole Demigard tries to do, but just know that every time this shit happens, it's bullshit. And we got to stop paying attention to it. And we got to start putting our own intent as a collective back into the ground. The geomancy. They're using all of this shit against us. We got to start using it against them. I'm here to tell you guys that I asked God for a purpose I'd say over a year ago. He gave me the primary water story. And then immediately after he gave me this Kent State story. And I think I got this Kent State story to break down the codes, to unwind the script, to dismantle their lies and put it back together so we can use it against them.
Divine inspiration is my favorite type of inspiration. I say that all the time. Like, weird stuff will fall into my lap and I'm like, I've never heard about this before, and then I end up looking into it and it's just rabbit hole after rabbit hole. Like when I discovered Program to Kill and Laurel Canyon, and that stuff changed my life.
You got to fuck with their numbers. You got to get on the Wikipedia and you got to edit all the 13s out of everything they put in there.
Here's something that happened to me real quick. You know how they put the numbers in the news cycle? It's always a 33-year-old or something like that. You know, or 13 people were struck by a car. I personally know a guy who blew his fucking hand off a few weeks ago. Okay. He's my age. He's 38 years old. The news put it out there that he was only 22. And they never corrected it. They don't fucking care about reporting the truth and the details. They got to get those numbers into their stories. And I've always wondered why, or how do these numbers always end up in the news? There's no way. And I saw this one, and now I'm questioning it. Down in Columbus a few months ago, 3 women were murdered at the address 1333. I'm like, no way, that didn't happen. And then fast forward to now, I finally clearly, because I know the asshole who blew his hand off, I know they're lying. They're just doing it to do it, guys. It's not by happenstance. It's not the universe.
Did they also put that he was 22 and he had COVID of the beehole and like all this extra stuff? You know how they love to just add details and like put
he was
all
suffering
the propaganda stuff in it.
Suffering from
Well, with COVID,
go ahead.
With COVID, there used to be a thing where you could type in on Google like a certain number, like say 333, and it would come up on Google 333 dead, and you know, like this town and this town, and it was like, wow,
exactly,
that's
Phil.
insane.
I'm half tempted.
Exactly.
I was very half tempted to call out to the editor and be like, why are you guys lying about his age? Why do you keep using these numbers?
They just lie to you.
Fix it. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that mistake. Oh, well, you're going to fix it because, you know, that really changes the story. You just described a completely different person when you said he was 22 years old. You know, so
they do that with serial killers a lot too. Actually, they'll put serial killers that they'll say they died in prison at age 77, or they were executed on the, you know, specific days, the 22nd, or all this stuff. And like the day that John Wayne Gacy was executed was the day that Jeffrey Dahmer got baptized, and they put that in the news too. It's like they do find significance by either making shit up or choosing specific dates for things.
Absolutely.
You know, it also might have to do with the places where they're encoding these things. So, you know, check out the location of these different newsrooms and stuff like that, because I think that could be geomantically significant.
Where they're sending the broadcast out from. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Kent State is a false flag, just like the one I mentioned earlier that was in Austin, Texas. Phil, do you know about that one?
Charles Whitman?
Yeah.
That's the one they talk about. I think Kurt Russell played him in a movie, and they cite that in Full Metal Jacket when the drill sergeant is talking about how where did Whitman and Lee Harvey Oswald learn to shoot? The Marine Corps. So like that's the question they give. Meanwhile, like Lee Harvey Oswald was a horrible shot, but and supposedly Whitman might have had a brain tumor. That's the one story that I've heard about with him. But
Yeah,
he killed
there's some weird stuff about him.
he killed his wife and mother before.
Yeah.
Before he went to the school and did that. I was going to say earlier though, with the once again the king kill aspect. Idaho, 1122 King Road, 4 students.
Oh, shit.
And it's funny enough, I'm doing a show with JJ in another couple of weeks about the 2 books I've read in regards to that. I just finished the James Patterson book about that one. So, to be expected, kind of a limited hangout sort of book.
I just looked up May 4th as well for the pagan holidays, and you guys are gonna not believe this. So
No,
it is
no,
the
not at all.
Celtic. Wait for this. So it's the Celtic holiday festival of fertility and healing.
Shut.
I want to throw
up,
shit,
bro.
dude. Oh my god, there we go.
Yep.
Oh, that's man, Nick. Thank you so much for bringing me on today. I thought I was gonna shit the bed in front of all these
Hey,
people.
look at that
but
shit, yo. What that
this
shit
is,
look
this
like?
is why I'm in it. This is why I've slowly been wanting to get into podcasting, because there's so many fucking dots to connect. We can't all do this research by ourselves. I've been wanting to bring this information, not just to be like, hey guys, check me out. I know all these cool things. I know there's more to the story. I need more people to bring me information and information that I can bring them. Like I myself, guys, autism.
What
is
are
tough.
those symbols?
There's so many different conspiracies that
those are
I
weird
myself have already lived. Yeah, that's wild. Where is that?
It looks like H's. It's in a Towner's. It's like in a Towner's.
Those look like H's.
What
Like
is
a
that?
little
The rape
part of it.
lodge over
Oh!
at the Kent State fucking
No.
University rape lodge?
It's called the ski booth in Towner's
Okay,
Woods.
ski booth.
Yeah, I was standing in that.
They call it the ski booth, but it could be also the rape lodge. And look at all these little H's, hobby
It's the
horse,
sock
hobby
lodge.
horse, all over it.
Sock lodge, Julie.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Who like climbed up there and wrote on that? That's wild.
Oh my God, Nick, did you say the sock lodge?
Yeah, it's just a little structure standing in the woods. It's more for decoration than anything. Kids hang out in it
And
smoke weed.
rapes. I
I
bet.
wanted to mention you mentioned the May 4th communist, or rather Chinese communist celebration. May 1st is a big communist day too, of course.
Isn't that May Day? Which one's May Day?
Yes, yeah, of course.
May 1st.
May 1st is May
And
Day.
so that's 3-day difference, of course. The fertility coming to birth, 3 days. Just interesting.
No,
So
shit.
I wanted to throw in here.
Go ahead.
Lisa says in the chat, she says Project Themis at Kent Liquid Crystal Program. So Themis is the Greek goddess of justice. She has the sword, the blindfold, and the scales, and that's kind of interesting. So Project Themis is where they got the liquid crystal display. Also, the second oracle at Delphi, and presumed to be mother of Prometheus.
That's wild, dude. It just keeps, dude. Thank you guys. You're making it just keeps adding up, man. It's like them naming every space shuttle launch after some kind of god and doing it on very specific ritualistic days over and over and over again.
Crazy.
Do any of you know who Michael Wan is?
Yep.
I've heard the name.
The one-on-one podcast.
No.
That's
a different guy. He's got a series. He's got a series on the 40th parallel with Ross Ben. That's absolutely fantastic.
We had him on like 2 or 3 weeks ago, right, Heather? Or maybe a month ago.
Yes, we
I'm
did.
not sure.
Yeah. I know maybe he dropped.
Oh, okay. Somebody
He
in the
did
chat
have-
actually had him. All right. Well, I paid him to do my astrology reading the other day,
Nice.
and
I gotta hit him up.
I think a lot of this is going into some of his research on the synchronicities and everything. he even told me I need to go and not just do podcasts, but actually go out to Kent and talk about this in person to people. Yeah.
Bring some dowsing rods. Bring some dowsing rods.
So I might end up eventually down the road actually trying to do like a conference on this topic. So anybody who's got research that they're pulling up, DM me. I'm on Instagram, Awakened Lion. You can email me. I'll shoot you my email. Because I looked past the DARPA stuff. I looked past the LCD, the name of that project. I'd looked at that before, but I, for some reason, skipped over that Greek goddess name. I didn't even realize that. So even while I'm doing my research, I know I'm missing stuff.
A lot of the 1960s research that was done, I think we mentioned this on another podcast, a lot of the 1960s research that a lot of the truther conspiracy community focuses on is mainly like the MK Ultra, the psychological aspect, the psilocybin, all that stuff. We tend to gravitate more towards that. I don't know if it's because it's readily available, we can find more information on it, but a lot of the aeronautics, the optics that are used now for intelligence and spy crafting and all that other stuff, especially medical, physiological, anything like that, is usually not talked about a lot. And so if Kent was being, I guess, used for optics or any kind of liquid crystallography or anything like that, that is significant because they probably had a grant for it. They had professors that had written for a grant and they were doing research for it. And they were not just, they were also probably co-authoring or doing collaborative work with other universities. That could help.
What's the chances that there were any Nazi scientists hanging out at Kent State? I'm just going to throw that out there because we know they infiltrated all of our colleges.
Yes,
they were brought to there's like an infamous picture at an Ohio Air Force Base, I think, where Werner von Braun was originally brought at one point. So
Patton,
that was
that
was my next point, in that because Ohio is the halfway point between Chicago and New York, we do know Chicago is Fermi lab, or Dr. Fermi, who helped develop the Large Hadron Collider Particle Accelerator. That doesn't get a whole lot of attention. Everybody focuses on CERN. We have CERN in Chicago, and then you have New York, which had a lot of experimentation being done by scientists from Project Paperclip and what forth, and so it was the go-between with that.
Somebody got their phone on or something. I hear some background noise.
Went away.
Yeah, it's
not sure where that was coming from. That is fantastic info, and yeah, man, I'm telling you, we could compile probably 3 hours of symposium on this alone. It just keeps connecting. It's all over the place, and I'll even throw this one out. The high school I went to, it's named Theodore Roosevelt High School. Theodore Roosevelt was vice president to William McKinley. William McKinley was also assassinated and was from Canton, Ohio. The William McKinley Memorial is exactly 32 miles away from the Theodore Roosevelt High School in Kent. So when you ask yourself, well, Theodore Roosevelt wasn't from Ohio, why has he got a high school named after him out there? I think that's why. They placed that in the city of Kent because it's exact location. They love using those numbers.
There's a lot of weird shit that comes out of Ohio, like MGK, for example. Fucking talk about a lizard king.
I met him in person before he got too big.
At his
in Kent.
Breakfast place in Cleveland?
No, I wouldn't even bother. Probably get botulism.
Well,
you probably get raped in the beehole.
In the 70s, Ohio became, you had some interesting stuff. You had Larry Flint kind of getting started there with the Hustler Club. And then in the late 70s, you had the Cleveland Mob War with Danny Green taking on the Cleveland Mob, and Cleveland becomes the car bomb capital of the world, at that point.
And my favorite unspoken about event was the 1970s taking over of the entire town of Boston Township. It's now referred to as Helltown. Have any of you heard of this? No? So back in 74, there was a bill signed off for like preserving. They said there was too much urban sprawl and we were knocking down too many forests. So what did they do? Instead of just like stopping knocking down forests, they knocked down an entire town. They removed people off their property with guns, burnt down their homes, and told them this is now a national park. The government completely tore people off their own properties, booted them out, and this area of Ohio is gorgeous. It's not flat fucking cornfields. There's a lot of peaks and valleys and rocky areas. There's lots of climbing to do, hikes, trails, and Boston is beautiful. The name itself too, it's named Boston in the middle of Ohio. So they signed this bill, kicked everybody out, and then somehow lost funding to turn it into a national park, turned around and told everybody they can have their property back. In my opinion, I think they were searching for something.
When did it happen?
70s.
In the 70s?
Yeah, they tore up the entire town, even turning parts of it. And you know how they said they were trying to save the land, the trees and everything. They turned half of the area into a toxic wasteland by dumping toxic sludge all over the place. This place, dude, Helltown, Ohio has more conspiracies driven in it than any other place you've ever heard of. There's stories of giant snakes, Satanism, a bus full of kids going missing, witches.
Is there like paranormal? I feel like I've heard some
It's
stuff
extremely
like paranormal stuff
Yeah,
regarding.
I've even had friends say it's a very secluded area. It is guarded by cops a lot of the time, and the cops out there suck. But being a teen, me and my friends used to take blunt routes. Everyone does. I'm telling you, if you live in this area you've taken a blunt route through this area, and multiple friends have told me they've had experiences where the car either starts acting up or they got out of the car just to be idiots and walk around and like they hear noises and shit. And that's not even walking deep into the woods. That's just driving down the dark roads at night.
Well, I also go ahead, Brooke.
I just wanted to say really quickly that this isn't the first time that the government's come in and done that eminent domain. I mean, look at the LBL. That is an area of high strangeness, and people were just booted off of their property, and they'd been there for hundreds of years, homesteading and things like that. And you find that in these areas where there are paranormal things happening or potentially cryptid things, that the government is coming in under the guise of eminent domain and kicking people out. It's an interesting correlation.
And this area was actually, there's a fantastic YouTuber, and I'm sorry, I'm going to forget his name. It's History something. He goes to different places talking about the history in the area, and he does a beautiful job telling the story of the witch from the 1800s and this like prominent man from the area who was trying to use the witch to get secrets about everyone in town so he could steal the land. So then he does, like, the way he tells the story, it literally mirrors what happened in the 70s, how everyone's land was taken, even to the point where the prominent man from the 1800s died of a heart attack, just like the guy, one of the main people who was involved with taking the properties away from everyone in the 70s. It's a crazy story. If you guys just go on YouTube in your free time and type in Helltown Witch story, it should pop up. He's an old white guy with beard and glasses. Great 10-minute video.
Here's I got a crazy kind of like connection. Well, not connection, but like Helltown. So I was saying to Nick earlier, I said, it's kind of interesting. He invited me on this, and I read a book that I reviewed about Kent State called 67 Shots. I also did a book called Helltown, about Provincetown, Massachusetts. That was the nickname it was given, where there was a serial killer in the 70s. And at one point, like, you know, that was the nickname given, was Helltown. And at one point you had Kurt Vonnegut and Norman Mailer were living near each other, and everybody was speculating on who the killer was. And, you know, it's a really good book. Interesting, but again, true crime. So, you know, we know how that kind of genre can be in terms of, you know, speculation on who the killer is. But I just thought it was funny when you said Helltown, and that being Boston, you know, what was it, Boston, Ohio, or Boston?
Yeah, Boston Township, Ohio. Yep.
Yeah,
In
and
the
then the other
Cuyahoga
one's
Valley.
Provincetown, Massachusetts. Yeah, it's crazy, you know.
There's actually a story of a serial killer. You guys may or may not be familiar with it, but it was called the Cleveland Torso Murderer. And they thought he could be like a Jack the Ripper, or he was like Jack the Ripper came over here and started slicing bitches up. But yeah, it's an unidentified serial killer from the Cleveland, Ohio area, was just ripping and running. They just found bits and pieces of women all over the place. All the Rockefellers are buried in Cleveland, Ohio. A lot of people don't know that. And you know, I grew up on Lake Erie, and I will tell you, it's a fucking creepy place to grow up. There's a lot of UFO activity. There's a lot of like weird things that come in and out of the lake. A lot of weird things have been seen. It's kind of like got a haunted vibe about it. So yeah, I mean, all this stuff checks out. Serial killers, Rockefellers, people getting their shit taken away, people's heads getting blown off at school. MGK, welcome to Ohio.
Well, we talk
Come
about, you know,
visit
you were talking
anytime.
about
Can't forget
McKinley. How about what's his name? Harding. Warren Harding was from Ohio. Had what was called the most corrupt administration ever, and then he drops dead. What, 2 years in of a suspicious heart attack or whatnot? And you know, yeah, his group was called the Ohio Gang, which was like his cabinet.
How many presidents are from Ohio? Was it 4 or 5? Do we know? Because I know Ohio, like that, we have a specific nickname for like being the birthplace of the most presidents.
All the ones that like booty hole stuff came from Ohio.
We got McKinley, Taft, Harding.
Is there a 4th?
There is. I'm missing it. I know there is.
You want me to Google it real quick?
Yeah, if you can, because if it's 4, that's very telling to me.
Presidents
too. Just the number
from
4 keep popping up.
Presidents from
Kid 33.
Ohio.
I will say that I
right
think
here,
every
unless I got a wrong one.
every president that has won Ohio since the 1960s has won the presidential election.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we got
there's
JD
four,
Vance's
that was-
ugly ass.
There's 7 presidents from Ohio.
7, okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it
I
was
got
7.
8.
Ohio's got the most
I
by
actually
far.
got 8. I got the number
Oh,
8.
you got
from
8?
Cleveland. Yeah, from Cleveland.com. I got the 8 Ohio's 8 presidents and the places they called home. Yep.
Oh, President
Yeah, I'm bringing it up.
Garfield. I forgot about that
Garfield, yeah.
asshole.
Another assassinated one, yeah.
I was
Yeah,
way
he was
off. My apologies,
assassinated.
guys. Yeah, so there's a lot of presidents from Ohio. So that's and
And they all like booty
2 of
hole
them
stuff.
were-
Like, what
were
are the
murdered.
coincidence?
Yeah, and then not to mention,
They
you
got
know,
missing
that many
facts.
presidents from Ohio. Then you have the Rockefellers. It's just
Mhm.
it's highly connected. This area is we get hated
Have
on
you
quite a
seen
bit.
their graves, by the way? I visited the cemetery.
The enormous obelisks.
Obelisks.
They are fucking huge. Yes, I've seen them. They are huge
Dude,
for no reason.
I got chills when I stumbled upon that gravesite. I was like, oh, look at this. What some rich motherfuckers, right? Because it's like
Is it
huge
called-
obelisks.
It's called Lancaster, Ohio. Is it that one y'all talking about?
No.
No,
that is
where
a
the
very important
Rockefellers
place,
are
too.
baried.
No, it's not that
It's
one.
I just
called
want to say I hate your
Lakeview
turnpike.
Cemetery.
Route
Which
80.
one?
I hate your turnpike.
Route 80.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never use it. I do not use the tolls. No way. Not at all. God, I don't know if you guys have any more questions for me. I don't know what else I could possibly. There's, like I said, everywhere I look, I had to break down all the different students, and I don't even. I got to get on my own show and do a solo show where I can just break down everything, and you guys can maybe watch me for once. I've been listening to
Well,
most of you for a very long time.
You were saying that the 4 students were Jewish, right?
Yeah.
And the parallels to 9/11. Well, who was the first victim of 9/11 was an IDF soldier on Flight 11, or that was the first told victim was an IDF soldier, which was very random. And then you have the Henry Kissinger connection. Kissinger was Nixon at the time. It was his national security advisor. And then 9/11, they want to bring him in on the first blue ribbon commission. And, of course, his connections representing the Saudis meant he got quickly kicked off. And, there's, a lot of parallels, and then we're talking the Rockefellers. I was told, something I had read about the towers where Tower 1 was supposed to be Nelson and the other one was named David, like they were named after the kids. Initially, that was their nickname, were the towers, north and south, I think at one point.
Wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I did not know that.
That's
I
great
guess my
callback,
last,
yeah.
if I had, who knows, I may never have the opportunity to sit in front of this many amazing podcasters again. So this is one last little bit of random information I have for the night. It's pertaining to Akron and Judith Resnick. Just to let you guys know, the high school she went to was called the Firestone Falcons. Put them together with the event that she supposedly passed away in. And not to mention,
seen?
real quick,
Oh, I
LeBron,
was just gonna
LeBron
say,
James, Steph Curry, and Judith Resnick were all born in the same hospital.
Oh, were they?
Yes. Steph Curry and LeBron James were both born in the same hospital. And then, of course, I had to throw in Judith Resnick. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Julia.
Oh, I was just gonna say, have you seen the videos of people who walk up to her?
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're like, oh, we heard that you died in a fiery crash.
Oh, yeah.
And she's just like, oh, fuck you. And she just walks away.
Yeah. We know it's her. I mean, I grew up looking at her picture. Like, that's one of those things about, because I don't know if any of you know this, but if you're from Ohio and you actually like this state, you're kind of like an asshole about it sometimes. Like, we're the best, it's Ohio versus the world. So, like, even my son, when he learns about history and it has anything to do with Ohio, he's fucking all for it. So I think it's just bred into us. It's the energy of the state. But just when growing up, knowing that, oh wow, this is a really important person, because I was a kid, I didn't know it was fake until the past 10 years. That was one of those things I always thought about, like this astronaut being from right down the road. It was a really cool fact to know about as a kid, but now it's even
if you
cooler.
ever meet a Browns fan, you'll realize the disillusionment of someone from fucking Ohio.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, are you serious?
We
Is
used
this
to be
real
good
life right now.
We can be good
Oh,
again
look,
one
you're
day.
one of them. Oh God, get me off of this podcast. I can't do it.
No, I'm done with sports. I play fantasy football with my friends just for the chance to win money. And my
What are we
and my
looking at
sports team
here?
is called the Cleveland Steamers, so that's how much I really like
The Cleveland Steamers.
That's where the butthole stuff comes from. The Cleveland Steamers.
It dates way further back than the Cleveland
yeah.
Steamers.
All right, I'm unraveling the podcast here, though. So I don't know if you guys got any more questions, any more thoughts, anything else to add. This has been amazing. Lisa, is it up there? One of the other Occult Reject podcasters?
Yes, that's me.
Amazing extra research you threw in there tonight for us.
Oh.
I'm so happy you did not bow out. That was fantastic. I can't wait to start digging into the DARPA stuff now.
Yeah.
I got more rabbit holes to go through.
Yeah, definitely look into the Weather Underground stuff. That angle also may provide amount of fruit.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we gonna get enough information put together to have a whole weekend symposium on this one fucking subject, which would get really tiresome and boring. But get enough good podcasters in the room, we could have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah,
I think
the
bombing.
mouse? What is this?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
where
this
is
is,
that?
this is
the
me. I'm
bombing-
on Google Earth. Every time somebody says something, I like to research and Google what they're saying. And this is actually in Lake Ohio, or Lake, what is it called? Brag out real quick. It's called, the Wade Memorial at Lakeview Cemetery. And when you click on here,
Where's this at?
This is
You
where
can
this
see-
is where the Rockefellers are buried.
Oh, okay, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, look at that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Look
this-
at shit.
like Greek or Mycenaean or something like that.
Yeah, that's wild.
Jesus.
I could spend days breaking that down.
Canaanite Phoenician.
Yeah.
Canaanite
Yeah.
Phoenician.
I guess Nick, you being the guy who lived a lot of this, knowing all the rituals and stuff, what do you have to say
Can you
about
tell
anything I
who's just
presented to
failing?
you today? Like, I got to get your opinion on this, brother. Like, am I on track? Is this really the type of shit these people are doing, or am I hallucinating? Am I crazy, and do I need to be thrown behind bars?
All of the above.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. No, I definitely think when you guys were talking about it earlier, the whole thing with I was even trying to say, if it's not, it doesn't necessarily have to be real because of the way technology is today and the way people are meant to feel for people that they never even meant and never would meet. You're gonna get people reacting probably. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll get tons of reactions off of something that's completely fake, regardless. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I guess what I'm getting at is, let's say you killed 4 people, but nobody knew about it. But if you didn't kill 4 people, but you had millions triggered over it, that might actually be a little bit more, worth it.
Well, sorry, Nick. Yeah, zoom in on that. Jesus Christ. That's crazy.
Can you Google the Rockefellers' gravesite? I have a picture of it on my phone when I went to go visit, but it's not a good picture.
The monument?
Yeah, all the
I'm sorry, the
obelisks and the
obelisk. Yeah,
weird
yeah.
shit. Yeah.
So
Julia,
what if
did you-
Ohio? What if
Sorry, did
Ohio
you
is
do
the
a
home of the magicians that encode the stuff for the rest of the country?
Brother, that wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. And I'm so glad you said it like that, because that's literally what I'm sitting here thinking. I literally had, how we all know Paranoid American, right? I wanted to pitch this at him, like, dude, you need to throw something in there where, like, in one of your comics or magazines where they have these this school where they breed and torture and force these people to write the codes for all of us. Like, I don't know how much of you are into like gematria and all that. And what's Zach's name? The gematria guy, Zach. I can't think of his full name right now. The way
Zachary Hubbard.
Thank you. The way he pieces together the WWE, all of the professional sports, and everything that's going on in the major news cycle together through the numbers, the words, and everything else. Now, he does take a certain angle of, it's all Jesuit, which I think he is onto something there too. But there's a fucking code being written for all of these events. Like, they literally have script writers. And how cool would it be for my brain to think, what if they're breeding these script writers and they have them all held captive in some tucked away underground school somewhere? Like, I could see Paranoid American writing a small comic on that shit, Yeah, you're definitely onto something with that. There's code writers to this stuff. They're piecing together the theatrics for us, and it's literally
That's the Garfield. Garfield Memorial. If you go to the basement of that memorial, they have his fucking coffin just out for you to like just roll up on. His fucking coffin.
I bet you he's not even in there. I bet you McKinley's and his wife is supposedly buried in the wall. And the funny thing about McKinley's memorial, look up that one real quick too before we get off here. Even the grounds that it's shaped very oddly when you look at it from above. The William McKinley Canton Memorial. It's also right across the street from the Canton Football Hall of Fame. You guys do not understand the amount of energy that the Hall of Fame game brings in every year. Having all of those men inducted, all the fans that come out, it is insane in that area in the summer.
And it's coming up in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, in a couple
of
weeks
or so.
Yep, they do it. It's right on my birthday almost every year. Yeah,
that's crazy.
War, peace. Look at that. War is man. Peace is with a woman.
Chef was asking me if I did a show talking about going to this cemetery. I definitely did. It was creep vibes for days. I was all up in this bitch, this one that you're looking at right now.
What?
I went by the Rockefeller's grave, Elliot Ness. It's really creepy. I mean, it's definitely got some of the oldest
Huge
graves.
mausoleum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creep vibes for
Definitely.
sure.
And we're talking about, so the Rockefellers were from Cleveland, we're saying, right?
Yeah, it's just like
And-
after you've attained that much wealth, why would you want to be buried in like the west
He
side
wa-
of Cleveland
he
with
wasn't e-
all the
yeah.
crackheads?
He wasn't even born in Cleveland, but that's where he was at when he
But
started.
it's
his
not
empire.
a nice area of Cleveland where the
it
cemetery
was.
is. It's literally like crack
Here's
central.
the thing, Julia.
It's fitting.
and I've been
Let them
You have a
have
bunch
it.
of MGKs running around.
Worse.
I've been following you since the Great Deception. All right. I actually got
shit.
pretty close to Matt. He had me on his show a few times
Yeah.
when I was wet behind the ears with conspiracy. That was about 2 years ago. I miss Matt.
Uh-huh.
God, I wish Matt was in this chat right now. He's fantastic, but his old world research is why I believe the reason why Rockefeller ended up in Cleveland is because that area is so heavily charged. Those buildings were already there. They've been there for hundreds of fucking years, and they used to be high-tech buildings. The building
I'm following.
the building that this motherfucker lived in, I guarantee was, I hate to say it, and I know probably 90% of you don't believe it, Tartarian. Whatever that shit was, okay? I don't know if the whole Tartarian Empire thing is a CIA operation to confuse us all or not, but the fact that these buildings still stand today and they have obvious evidence of being more than just a building is reason for me to believe that a lot of this land, and I don't know if any of you know about Ross Ben's research on the 40th parallel in Philadelphia and the artwork that he looked into, and the research he did on the mounds themselves. Okay, getting back into Kent and all the mounds being in Kent as well. They're not just down in Cincinnati, Dayton, and Kentucky. They're fucking all over the place, and you don't even know when you're standing on one because we've already built civilization on top of them. And
Right.
like I said, I'm 95% sure, I just have to do the research, that Kent State itself was built on a giant Indian mound. It's so fucking hilly for no reason. I used to ride my bike up and down those hills every single day in the summer as a kid. They are huge hills. The rest, like you go to Ravenna, it's not that hilly. You go to Stowe, it's not that hilly. You go to Brimfield, it's a fucking farm town. It's got little hills everywhere, but that's it. Kent is got huge hills for no reason. And one of the
Does it have 7 hills?
Kent does not, but Akron does. Hey, here's a little fact that I cannot find anywhere on the internet anymore. If Hitler had won world domination, he planned on making Akron, Ohio, one of the world capitals. So I could be lying about that, but I heard that. I came
till
across
the
that.
crackheads took over.
Isn't
You have no
isn't
idea.
Cleveland or Akron one of the largest Jewish cities?
Cleveland's got a lot of Jews. Yeah, in the suburbs. Cleveland also
And
has the highest Puerto
Italians.
Rican, Italians and Polish.
Yeah.
We got them all, but the highest population of Puerto Ricans in the country is in Cleveland, Ohio. You would think it'd be
They
New
make a
York City
mean
or
empanada though. I mean, they
Yeah, I
be
love my
popping
Puerto
up all
Rican
over the fucking place with the
Best friend's Puerto
empanada.
Rican. No,
I'm not
no hate on
mad.
my Puerto Ricans. My best friend in the world is Puerto Rican, and he was my roommate when I lived in Kent. He actually played football at Kent State.
I think the Mexican empanadas.
Well, you also had
that's just me.
All right, Lisa.
you
all
also
right,
had
all
one
right.
of the one of the true sort of conspiracy, politicians from Ohio around Cleveland was James Traficant. He was the one who accused of
Plane
what was
crash.
it? He accused I think Janet Reno of being a lesbian, and he talked about I think like Israel's grip, on politics, and
Who are you talking about?
had the worst
A
toupee
Puerto
of all
Rican?
time. James
James
Traficant.
Traficant.
He was
Oh,
he was a senator. I think he said like "beam me up, Scotty" was like one of his like phrases, and I think they eventually kicked him out of Congress. But yeah, he was someone who was like very attuned with like Israel's influence, in regards to government. And yeah, he said Janet Reno was having an affair with Donna Shalala, who was like the Health and Human Services Secretary under Clinton. And yeah, he was like one of those guys, Democrat, but like would spew a lot of stuff that turned out to be true. He took the cause of John Demjanjuk, the guy who they said was Ivan the Terrible.
Oh my
of one
God,
of the
Phil,
concentration
don't get me
camps that
started on that shit. That is fucked up. Did you
I
watch
saw
the
that.
Netflix
I saw that documentary.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Oh my God, it was from Cleveland too. It was crazy.
Yeah. Well,
I want
because they
to
had
do
a
an
huge
episode on it.
Ukrainian. I think there's a huge Ukrainian population. I think was part of that.
Phil,
That's
I
where
want
he
to
was
team
living.
up and do an episode on that Demjanjuk guy because I think that is a crazy story. I don't know about you.
It
my
is.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
And his lawyer was Israeli and took a shit ton of flack for it. Yep.
Oh my God, that's so crazy. But that's another Cleveland story I forgot about. A full-blown concentration camp ass, fucking Nazi ass, fucking killed kids in the gas chamber ass.
When we're talking about Rockefeller, you know, someone who made his money most likely off, you know, crimes in one form or another, and then, you know, being involved with philanthropies, you get a guy like Mo Dalitz, who was a gangster, the Mayfield Road Mob, who goes out to Vegas and he becomes like Mr. Las Vegas and winds up, you know, owns the Desert Inn, which eventually he sells to Howard Hughes, and then donates the biggest hospital that was being used to run the casino skim through at one point, and he dies, and he's like man of the year and all these other things, and basically just whitewashed his entire reputation through philanthropy. You know,
so fucking nuts.
We'll talk about the murders and stuff, you know. Yeah.
Phil is like an encyclopedia
I love
day conspiratorio. that should be his name.
I gotta say it again too, guys. Please, if I can get all your contacts, learn who all of your shows are. I would love to support all of you too and connect more. I'm having so much fun with this shit, dude. Connecting out, dude. It's who here's done psychedelics? Anyone? I'm not a big user, right? But the first time I ever did mushrooms, it was
to the nut.
I did it with a group of friends, and 7 of us, and we all went off and did our own thing. A couple guys went this way, a couple guys went that way. I was sitting on a playground because my friends lived right next to a playground. All right, I wasn't there being weird. It was literally in their backyard, and I sat there by myself, having a flood of all these thoughts I've never had before, thinking about the most random shit. And I was sitting there for about 20, 30 minutes. And then I decided to get up and walk back to my friend's house to the front door. And then I looked to my left, and the 2 guys who walked this way started to come back. And the other guy, we all came back to the house at the exact same time. And all of our different thoughts were completely different, but they all connected. And it blew my fucking mind how our conversation people were having in different parts of the town all came together at once.
Yeah, dude. You connect through the mycelium.
Absolutely. And it just it's what I've been doing every day since, just connecting dots that I come across, and it's so much fun for me. And I honestly feel like God's speaking to us a little bit more than we want to realize. And even though I look at things like numerology and astrology, I'm a big believer that those are God's tools, and if you're using them correctly, especially if you're using it to kind of fight on his side, you can use it for good. It's all about intention. Correct.
Yeah, man.
It's all about intent. They're using it against us on a daily basis, and we've got to do something to fight back. There's so many fucking, look at the group I'm sitting in front of right now. And all of you know people. And all of those people know people. Before I got on here, I was on a 2.5-hour podcast with NDS.
I had them on yesterday, man. Shouts out
I know.
to boys.
I follow. They're one of the few people I pay for the Patreon. No offense, guys. I'm a poor person, but they put out so many shows throughout the day that I can listen to at work. Plus, they have a lot of you guys on too. It's great.
Yeah.
But the energy's changing, guys. I hate to sit here and preach and get on my soapbox, but the energy's changing. And if you don't do it and start maybe doing more than just podcasting, we're going to start losing a battle. You guys are just going to have more content to talk about. All right. You guys might get some more money in your pocket, but what the fuck are we really doing here? Like, I called out NDS earlier. I said, your name is the Nephilim Death Squad. I just brought the fight to your front door. Can we please?
You got to get out there and fight Nephilim, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're just talking about Nephilim. I'm here to fight them because I'm not making money off this shit, and I probably never will. Mostly because of the way I speak. So
people keep
change for us.
People keeps telling me I'm a Nephilim because I have red hair, and I'm like, what the fuck does that even supposed to mean? Like, I love the Lord. I don't fucking eat children. I don't get, like, literally, we need to define what the definition is a little bit more.
I'd say the worst thing about Julia, you say the word fuck a lot, but there's nothing wrong with that either. So.
Oh, I enjoy that.
I can't help it.
I do too.
So
thanks, Chef.
So I think we got to get into a sort of a war mode, and I think that means everybody needs to attend some sort of astral projection boot camp. Right? You got to get out there.
I'm telling you, bro. Start meditating.
Not if I have to take psychedelics.
I think you're right, bro.
I won't do it.
Julia.
No, I'm not here to. Don't do psychedelics. I know way too many people who overdo the psychedelics. I did it more than once, and I didn't need to. I'm telling you, that one time I took it, I was not ready for it. It changed my fucking life, and I was only about 18, 19 years old. I've not looked back since.
I mean, I've smoked weed a couple times where I've literally thought that I was leaving my body, but I think I just got like too fucked up, like took a big bong rip and like felt like I was levitating and shit. So if I have to take psychedelics, I already know it's going to be a fuck that, because I had a complete panic attack.
They're not for everybody.
No,
and that's the mistake that kids, that's the mistake they make whenever they take them. And not just trying to have a good time or whatever. They're used for, other purposes. And
especially looking into conspiracies. Like sometimes, you get too high and you read something like Programmed to Kill, and you're like, I think I'll just, I think I'll kill myself. I don't know what else to do right now. It's just, I'm in too deep. It's too
same
dark.
book.
I want out.
Same exact book.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Well, this was a good one, Nick.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Really good
This
one.
was a banger, man.
I had fun.
Hey, they actually got a May 4 visitor center right on campus. I'm actually inside it right now. Well, I'm not inside it, but it doesn't give you any pictures, but they definitely have one.
Of course they still.
And they also have a memorial place too. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm looking at it right now. Something ain't right about this.
They drilled that into our heads as kids.
They have one at the Oklahoma City Bombing Memorial too. You got to pay like $20 a person to get into the fucking thing, and then they give you a tour of how many kids got blowed up. And it's like, why did I pay for this? Like, this is kind of morbid and horrible.
Matt, I got a question. Do they make you stand on anything metal? Is there any like plaque or anything on the ground that's metal that you have to stand on any of these tours or any of these sort of like self-flagellations?
Oh, good question.
There's definitely big stones in the Towners area.
Yeah. Not
it's
that I can think
I
of
don't
off
know.
the top. I know what you're talking about, like a big metal disc with writing on it and memorialized on the ground, and maybe and there's something in front of it. They have a couple memorials. I don't remember if they have anything like that. And like I said, I don't go to Kent that often, even though I live right down the street and my mom still lives in Kent. But I'm gonna have to go to campus and walk around and see. I feel like I need to do some like live tours when I go. I'll just go on campus and start talking about it on some lives or something. Post that on.
Get yourself some meta glasses, bro, and get it.
Yeah.
Oh, Matthew.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Like that, to be honest with you.
No problem. Thank you for having me, everyone, and thank you for adding to it. Thank you for adding to the research and asking great questions. Like I said, I'm not a great storyteller, and there's so much information with this. Like, it's really hard not to bounce around. thanks for bearing with me and still like
Oh, no.
understanding what my retarded brain was trying to spit out. Yeah, I don't even know what else to say, guys. Thank you. And just Awakened Lion on Instagram, Awakened Lion 29 on X. If you guys want to correlate, message me, follow me, give me any of your research, or have me on your show sometime. My whole life has been a conspiracy. Autism has touched my family pretty hard, you know. I also get into a lot of like, you know, spiritual thought. I grew up in an abusive household from my stepfather, so I love looking at the psychology of how people's minds work, and the whole, even just relationships with men and women through family. Like I said, I grew up with a stepfather, and even looking at his family and the history behind it, it's just medical conspiracy all over the place. So I got a lot to add to different conversations. If you guys want to have me on, please hit me up.
I feel that. The
Oh, and
chat was on fire tonight too. Look at all these comments and stuff over here. Somebody said, "I love you."
Yeah, I saw that. Somebody's
I haven't
loving you.
recorded anything, but I am working on my own show. It will be called The Hometown Prophet.
Awesome.
Nobody's the prophet in their own hometown.
Nice.
Right. Okay. Nice. Oh, and you know, after the show, man, throw me any links you want me to put into the show notes to share for you. Okay. I don't think I have. Yeah. So people can reach out to you as well if they want to, talk to you about this.
Absolutely.
But yeah, thank you very much, Matthew. I really appreciate it. Real quick for the people that are still here. Well, first I'm going to plug. Chef, you're still here, so you can plug that show. Dark Florida, Brooke, she left. Go check out Dark Florida. Yeah, podcast, paranormal, cryptid stuff, Bigfoot. Yeah. All right, Lisa, what's up? What's going on? That way.
Thank you for having me on. And Matt, amazing presentation. Learned a lot. I had never even heard that thesis that it wasn't real. So that threw me for a loop. So thank you for bringing that into, planting the seed into that. Thank you, fellow rejects, for having such an amazing discussion. And again, just would like to plug occultresearchinstitute.org. Check us out.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And hello, John.
Hey, you can find me on Twitter and X, and I've got a show on Thursday nights where I read your emails if you send them to the Headless Giant Podcast at gmail.com. Thank you.
Yes, you'll get a story, and you'll get a sigil, symbol, engraving, or something. We always pull something out of our ass to share with you, so definitely check it out. Yeah. And we got the chef. What is going on, sir?
Yeah. First, thank you for having me. I greatly appreciate it. It's been an awesome Friday night. It was very nice meeting you all. I'm only familiar with a handful. Matthew, you did a good job, brother. That was awesome.
Thank you, man.
Keep getting it, dude. You're doing a great job. And yeah, you can find me. We're over at Rumble and Instagram, SNSS Pod, I believe, and X as well. So, what's up?
You're on Twitter too.
Thank you, Jules. So Jules knows I always forget what my what the Twitter handle is. I'm not on there a lot, but that is at SNSS Pod. Love you too, bro. And yeah, thanks again for having me.
Oh, no, thank you. Appreciate it. I had a blast.
Thank you. Yeah.
And Julia, what is going on?
I love doing these shows because I feel like it's just hanging out with my besties. Always meet new people. Phil, I've been wanting to meet you for a while now. Obviously, everybody else. Matthew, great to meet you. I think I have done a couple of shows with a few of you before, but Chef, it was great to meet you. And Hank, Cosmic Peach Podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts, if you want to work with me, get in touch with me through my email. It's ghost.peach@outlook.com. Don't send me a message on Instagram. I don't check that bitch. Please send me an email. Thanks for having me. Matthew, it was a great show. Loved it. Very entertaining. Thanks
you.
again.
No problem.
Hell yeah. Thank you very much, Julia. Always appreciate you joining us. And we got Phil. What is going on, Phil? Oh, yeah.
It was a great couple hours, and I enjoyed it. I said it just worked out. I mean, book that, a topic that I, read and reviewed a book on, and it was a lot of fun. Vic Foster on Twitter. I do post some of the book reviews. Well, any ones that they post. And every now and then I get to review a good conspiracy or occult related, hopefully I'll get to post my Occult Elvis review soon, and which I got introduced because of one of your guests, Nick. And, it's always a lot of fun talking about conspiracies and other fun topics like this.
Oh, thank you for coming on, man. Always appreciate whatever you have to bring to the show, because we always got something going on in that videos to add. And we got Tyrone. What is going on, sir?
Hey, good presentation, Matthew. That was good. I learned something new today. So, it was great learning that stuff. Everything that you want to find on me, just go to rebirthoftheword.com and you'll catch everything that I'm on there. Thanks again, Nick.
Of course. No, thank you for coming on, my man. And Jules?
Man, this was another great show. I always appreciate you inviting me. Get to meet new people. Got to get you on, Matthew. I think it'd be fun. Guys, Grey Pill Pod on Twitter, Rumble, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You go follow me over there. Go over to Patreon, patreon.com/Grey Pill Podcast, doing an esoteric book review in the morning. It's Patreon only. Probably think we're reading Occult Anatomy of Man. So, and then we're doing Twin Peaks watch party tomorrow, most definitely.
Oh, hell yeah.
So,
I have yet to watch that ever. And there's so many goddamn podcasts talking about it. You guys talk about it.
This is my third time watching it, and I'm watching it with my audience, and now they're all obsessed with all the stuff in it too. Shout out Isaac Wiseup though, for kind of getting me on it at first.
Yeah.
And I got him coming on later this month to talk about it.
Oh, nice.
So that's going to be a banger. Yeah. Everybody go check out the episode with NDS from yesterday. And all the episodes we've done. I think this is my third Occult Rejects episode this week. So, yeah, man. Yeah. So shouts out to the Occult Rejects. Y'all go follow them. And, yeah, another great show. I appreciate it.
No, thank you, man. I always appreciate you coming on. I normally try to bug you to get you to come on. So thank you.
Man, I'm always down, dude. If I'm free, not
Well, normally it's timing.
If the kids are working, then
it's only the timing is off. And I guess Ethan Indigo, I don't know if he's still here or not, but I'll plug his stuff. Go check out his books. He definitely's got a plethora of books. He's got a bunch of stuff. Yeah, we got a bunch
I'm actually going to buy his book, bro, and I'm actually getting his book from Amazon. I'm going to go read them when I get them. When they come in.
Nice. Yeah, so go check out his stuff, and he is on Twitter as well, and he's rather active on there. So
and he's contributed to the occultresearchinstitute.org as well.
Yes, he has. He's actually been one of the more consistent ones. He's making me look bad. Thank you, Ethan. Yeah, and thank you everybody in the chat. That is what's up. There's a lot of people.
One more thing, Nick, because Jules just reminded me. I also did a show with NDS today on the primary water and the kidnapping of Joe Gilberti and his efforts to bring primary water to the entire world. Like I said earlier, that story is 10 times fucking bigger than this. So if anybody wants to check that out, it's out for free. They had to pull it off of YouTube. It should be back on there because we talked about alkaline water. I'm sorry. We said the word alkaline and they pulled us from YouTube instantly.
Wow.
Yeah. So
we did it on the Labubu dolls, but it's still a good episode. I have to check that one out that y'all did.
Please, it's not my story. I just, like I said, I asked God for purpose and he dropped this story in my lap, and I was literally the only person on the internet who found it and gave a shit about it. And now it's about possibly have its own documentary if NDS has anything to do with it. So be on the lookout for that.
It's pretty wild. I didn't think it was as, when I first heard about it, I was like, okay. But then once I got like the full story, it's pretty wild.
It's a very deep story.
Thank you. And where was I at? Oh, I was thanking the chat. That's right. Sorry. Thank you everybody that was packed. It was from all channels too. I appreciate everybody saying stuff and commenting. That's why we go live. That is the end of another Occult Rejects. And until the next one, everybody be well. Later.